DenverSports.com.
Most people don't think about their garage door until it stops working. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Door Service. A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. There's never a good time for your garage door to break, whether you're rushing to work or you're trying to get the kids to school. We know how much you rely on your garage door. That's why we offer same-day repairs, because life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Over 90,000 five-star reviews don't happen by accident. They happen by putting people first. Fixing your garage door is what we do, but making your life easier and your home safer is why we do it. Families trust us because we deliver, and we'd be honored to earn your trust too. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Door Service today.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Designed for working adults, focused on the future. Classes start September 17th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Eli Manning here, reminding you there's nothing like football and King's Hawaiian Sliders. King's Hawaiian Sliders make you a winner on game day. Pick some up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your grocery store.
Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents Dover and Cecil.
All right, will anything change out of Bo Nix? Does Bo Nix change his approach, how he handles the Colts game after a bad performance in week number 1, where they did get the win, but Bo himself had a few turnovers, and the defense had to do most of the heavy lifting. One of the things that Bo was asked yesterday when he meets the media, it's a Wednesday press conference for the quarterback, was, is there anything that he does different after you have a game the way that he had the game in 3 turnovers?
Not really anything different. And just watching them, tough plays. I think both their guys made a good play. All 3 of them. Their D lineman did a good job of going for the football. And, just in the future, maybe not be so aggressive, but at the same time, that's what makes us quarterbacks good. So it's a fine line of being aggressive, but sometimes it happens and you just got to move on, but can definitely take a little bit more calculated attempts, and that's what I'll attempt to do in the future.
All right, and he's right. It is a fine line. There's that.
And he crossed the line, by the way.
He was a habitual line stepper.
He was bad last week.
On Sunday, he crossed the line literally 3 different times, and it just goes back to some of that fundamental stuff, which this is why it feels so weird, at least for me, and I think I can't speak for you on this. Bo he's a guy that's not going to get out of his fundamental ways. He's not going to get in his head or let emotions get the best of him. And each of those 3 things that I just described happened to Bo Nix on Sunday.
Yeah.
But that's just not who he is. So you hope he's not starting to form habits and trends. And you hope that he's learning from the mistakes that he made, just like he did in weeks 1 through 4 last year, to become the quarterback that we saw in weeks 5 through 18. Now, if it takes 4 weeks, we're going to have some problems because there's a couple teams on this list that are going to take big advantage of that.
Yeah, it needs to take 2, and not even 2. He needs to ball out this week, period. The play of Bo Nix against the Colts will tell us everything we need to know about the first 8 weeks of the season. Are we in for a longer ride than we thought? Are things going to be bumpier than we thought? Buckle up, Broncos country, because if Bo Nix is out there throwing picks and making decisions and being that habitual line stepper, then you've got some problems, Mac. Now, the nice thing is that the national media will pay less attention to the Broncos, and they'll stop talking about it. So Sean Payton said top 5 quarterback.
That'd be nice.
Did he say top 5 or tier 5? Because Nick Shook from NFL.com came out with his quarterback tiers, and Bo Nix was in tier 5. There's only 6 tiers.
So
and the 6th tier is Spencer Rattler and Russell Wilson.
I mean, look, if it's based on one game and one week's performance, I don't know how much argument I can have with whoever wrote that.
Nick Shook.
Mm-hmm. So you know what I mean? Based off one game. If that's all you're doing, Nick Shook, it's just one game. All right, you have a little bit of ground to stand on.
Right.
If it's an overall body of work,
yes,
well, then you look foolish.
Right, and then that's why we have to take in everything to account. And it's not that 2 true things can be true, because that's actually not true. But it's like, okay, he was bad in week 1. He's not a bad quarterback. We already know those things, right? Those things are both true. And the thing is like, all right, can you be better? Going forward, can you... And he's not going to see something and be like, well, last week I threw that pick, so I don't know. He's not going to have any time to do that.
Football instincts.
But he's not going to hesitate. And that's why when I said to start the show, like, Bo Nix was flippant yesterday. That answer was the flippant answer. Like, I mean, hey, throw some picks, whatever, but that's what makes us quarterbacks dangerous. And, I need to make more calculated risks. It's a fine line, but I need to keep doing that. He'll keep doing that. Now, you want better success. You do not want the turnovers. And I don't need everyone, don't at me, bro, of like, well, this guy broke down the film and Marvin Mims didn't. Even Stoke was like, well, Marvin Mims didn't run that clear out. It left his hands. It landed in the defender's hands, okay? And maybe Mims was sitting down and said, maybe Mims should run that clear out better. And then the safety, and oh, my God. Like, Bo's got to be better. And no one should be making excuses for him. And none of us are, thankfully. But also at the same time, we're not saying anything, oh, he's terrible now. No, he's a damn franchise quarterback. Evans did say he's got them mom jeans are a little tight today.
Really?
I don't know, Evans, maybe he needs to mix in one of them salads. Can you bring him a salad tomorrow?
I can probably do that for him.
Okay, yeah, maybe mix in a salad. I may have breakfast burritos for us tomorrow.
Yeah.
So Spivak always likes to know my breakfast burrito schedule.
It affects his rest of the day eating schedule, which I can appreciate.
Okay. So tomorrow I may not have a breakfast burrito for Mike Evans because those mom jeans were too tight. Because he's like, I don't know about Bo Nix. No, we do know, Mike. We do know. We know he's the guy. All right. Now, where's his level at? Is he Patrick Mahomes, or is he Jared Goff, or is he Derek Carr? Like, where's the level with Bo Nix? We don't know that yet, but we already know he's the guy. So Evans got to undo that top button or something, like their button busted out, because he was so confused about, we just don't know about Bo. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I will not allow that talk on this station. We know about Bo Nix, and we also know he needs to be much better.
And aren't Bo Nix and Sean Payton still tied at the hip? They're a package.
Yeah.
So if we don't know about Bo, we don't know about Sean.
Sean put his legacy on Bo.
Yeah. Bo works or Sean goes. That's how it works.
Well, we got a stadium coming up. By the way, speaking of our beautiful breakfast burritos, I talked to Raj, who owns the gas station in Roxborough, and he goes, is it going to fit 100,000 people, the new stadium?
100,000?
Yeah. And I was like, I don't know. No one's ever asked that question.
That's a really good question.
But here's the thing. 6 years, right?
Yeah.
Bo's here in 6th year with Sean. They're both here. Or they're both not here.
Exactly right.
That's the way this league goes. Sean Payton doesn't get another crack at this. Oh, and now
he doesn't get a redo of it.
Now I got the quarterback.
Yeah.
No, this is his quarterback. That's why I have full faith in Sean Payton. That's why I have full faith in Bo Nix. They're going to figure this out. And it's not blind homer, Bo's the greatest ever. Jaden Daniels is a better quarterback. Okay? He was last year. He is so far this year. Bo's got to be better than that, or else that conversation continues.
Yeah. That's a really good question about the stadium, though.
I know. I was like, we never asked that question. Do you want it to be 100,000?
I don't think you need to go 100,000.
What is it now, Kev? Like 77?
76.
Okay.
Something.
Does it need to be 80?
You go up to like 85 is
I mean,
my
you
brain
could sell
goes.
that bad boy out, right?
I think a lot of the newer stadiums are going smaller. More fancier inside, a little more smaller.
Look up like SoFi or Minnesota. Let's see that. But I thought it was a fascinating question of like, maybe it is going to be 100 grand.
I mean, you think of like SEC stadiums where they got, north of 90, stuff like that, where Alabama and Death Valley and stuff, you're selling out that number.
Denver would support a stadium of that size. You'd get another 20,000 people to show up.
How many people are on the season ticket waiting list? You just
all of a sudden
roll them right in, right?
You got them. And I mean,
you get that's how you get
for
Final
the
Fours
concerts
and stuff too.
Yeah, you'd get the Final. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't need to be 76,000. Maybe the number's 80. Maybe the number's 100. I don't know.
I stand a little corrected. U.S. Bank Stadium 73 and SoFi 70.
Oh, wow. So they are going the other way a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, just maybe a tad, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. Do you want more fans there, Kev? You're the one that goes.
let's get it up to 80
So let's push for 100.
and just give me more leg room. That's all I ask.
Oh, so you want more fans, but
You're
more
a
leg
tall-
room for
you're a
you.
tall guy, though.
You're worth $70 billion. Just give me like 4 more inches of leg room on each side.
You want business class. You don't need first class. You want business
I just
class.
need some room.
Okay,
Maybe
that's
just
fine.
make my one row just a little longer.
See, that's what Kev also says that to his ladies. Like, hey, just give me a little more room.
That's right. That's right. That's
Just give me that long exit row on the plane. How there's
Yeah.
like no seat in front
Oh,
of
that's
you.
the fire exit.
Yeah, just give me
Yeah.
one of those where there's no one in front of me.
That's a great spot. It's also that's a great spot because you get that leg room, and children under the age of 15 are not allowed to sit there, so you don't have to deal with them being in your area.
I like it.
It's a
All I
great
know
deal.
is every flight I'm on, there's a crying baby. Me.
I'd pay extra to be on a plane with no children.
Really?
I'd pay extra. For that.
As a father, and it is something like all of us, whatever, we're all busy. But if I hear a baby that's being consoled but is crying, I feel bad for the parents. I feel bad for the child. Their ears are popping.
Yeah.
They're
Oh
going
no,
up.
I'm not like the jerk. Like,
Right, right,
is
right.
your baby crying? I would just.
But the
prefer
little
not
kid like
to
kicking your
be
seat
there.
all the time,
Yeah.
and you're like, what
Yeah.
are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Parents, do something.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, yeah. So when I hear the baby crying, I just kind of feel bad because it's
They're going through a lot.
baby's ears are popping.
Yeah.
So yeah.
They're going through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also pay extra money to fly on Soul Plane too, because that seemed like a good time.
Well, actually, I haven't used it, but there was a time not that long ago, because I'm a moron, where I was like, I'm just going to fly private everywhere.
You told me about this.
I know. So I have the app, and it's great. JSX.
Yeah.
JSX.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's great. And you can fly to Vegas on a 30-passenger jet, and, you just walk up with your bags, right?
No security.
And you just get on the plane. And to Vegas, it's like $350 one way.
Dude,
Or
that's
maybe
not bad at all.
it might be $350 round trip. But either way, it's not bad.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe I just fly private. I haven't done it yet because
That's got to be like if I get married again, then like the honeymoon, maybe we fly private,
okay,
something like that.
yeah, and it's a 30-passenger jet. So I'm like, yeah,
Bring 28 of our closest friends.
exactly. Hang out with Kev. Kev's got to have leg room though.
Yeah, you get fire exit.
Can I get
row.
an exit row?
You get the exit row.
Okay.
You get the exit
I'm
row,
in.
no doubt. All right, good stuff from Bo right there. We'll hear a bit more from Bo later on in the show. He was actually asked about that 4th and 8 play and if he saw Cortland or not. You'll hear his answer a little later. In the meantime, we thought we just had a quarterback controversy in Boulder. Turns out there's one going on in Fort Collins, too.
Yep.
Details next.
After grinding out a win against the Titans, will Sean Payton get his offense back on track? Will Vance Joseph slow down a surprisingly hot start from Daniel Jones? We'll break it all down on the Fan Football Pregame Show, live on game day starting at noon. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
What's up, guys? Josh over here to talk to you about Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic and something you need to do if you're dealing with erectile dysfunction. And it's simple. Contact them at RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com, or if you want to talk to somebody on the phone and get something set up today, here's the number. Are you ready? It's 720-440-7900. They have 5 locations to serve you. I promise, no matter where your feet are right now, there's one within 20-25 minutes of you. Fort Collins, North Denver, Central Denver, the New Look location there in Castle Rock, and down south in Colorado Springs. I don't have to tell you how important sex and intimacy is in a relationship. And if you're not having sex or being intimate in your relationship, you're not going to be in one much longer. But you don't have to run from an uncomfortable conversation or come up with bad excuses as to why you can't perform in the bedroom. Go see my friends at Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. They have treated tens of thousands of men and have success rates well over 90%. You can even be lasting an hour or more and having sex as soon as the day after your appointment there. $99 will get you in the door. They'll draw your blood, tell you what your T and PSA levels are, tell you you should take a test dose. If that test dose doesn't work there in the office, they don't want your money. This is about getting rid of the stigma around men's health, and it all starts at RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game and the go-to spot for football season with wall-to-wall TVs, hearty eats, ice-cold drinks, and of course, those scenic views. It's a full-on experience whether you're catching college or pro games this season. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
No parades, just quiet wins that changed everything.
Real people, real results. Soda weight loss works.
Tying my shoes without grunting. That's what Soda gave me. In 16 weeks, I dropped 82 pounds. Think about all that weight lifted off your bones. I owe my life to Soda.
Get started now for the best season of your life with our partner program, because when you join now, your partner joins for free.
Go to sodaweightloss.com, SOTA, sodaweightloss.com.
Soda is, say it with me, state of the art.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm." Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
For many of us, it's happened before. Your hair is thinning, crowns disappearing. Maybe the hair loss has you feeling your identity is lost altogether. The solution that worked for me, it's an incredible yet simple one-day treatment that starts growing your own natural hair the very next day. And it's guaranteed to grow for life. It's the Advanced FUE from Advanced Hair. We've all seen the pills and lotions that come with monthly subscriptions. They help retain what you have, but what if you want your own natural hair permanently in specific areas? From Advanced Hair's state-of-the-art facilities to world-class Dr. Tanya Paul's, it's not maybe your hair will regrow, it's guaranteed that your new hair will grow. You decide how much, how thick, and where. It's why Advanced Hair is the winner of Westward's Best of Denver. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts, call 720-459-HAIR. That's 720-459-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
Being dependable for your family. We get it. At Corwin Toyota, we've been family-driven for over 100 years. So when you need a ride that fits your whole crew, or even your carpool, rain or shine, we hope to show you how our family can take care of yours. Corwin Toyota, family-driven for over 100 years.
Catch Telestrator Tuesday weekly on Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, where Stink or Stoke dive into the past weekend's games with a coach's eye, using insights into what went right and wrong on critical plays. Telestrator Tuesdays, powered by Colorado Credit Union. Love where you live, love where you bank.
Stay up to date on the Broncos with our 9 News Broncos insider Mike Kliss, presented by Fitness Gallery. Hear the latest from every practice and every game every single week during football season. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. Don't at me, bro. It's time to check your ex.
Why are you stalking me?
No, not that ex.
Twitter, unfollow.
Here's Dover and Cecil to help you swipe, scroll, and screenshot your way through today's top headlines.
Power of social media. I'm on Team Gets It.
All right, Cease, what's on our timeline that we need to chat about? Well, I mentioned a quarterback controversy. We know the Buffaloes, well, their controversy should actually be over because Ryan Staub should just be QB1 moving forward. But we'll find out tomorrow night at 5:30 if the controversy is over. But Kevin Lytle, who covers the Colorado Rams, had a tweet yesterday that caught a lot of people's attention there as he's writing for the Coloradan. And the tweet reads, Jay Norvell says there is competition at quarterback this week. Jackson Brasou, I probably said that wrong, is getting QB1 reps as well as BFN, Braden Fowler Nicolosi there. And Cecil, it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody that listens to this program because after the Rams' first game, I came on these airwaves and said, Braden Fowler Nicolosi is not it.
He's not that guy.
At quarterback for the Colorado State Rams. I don't know much about Jackson. I know they've given Taj Bullock reps in the, the Wildcat look, and it's just him running the football. I think he has one pass attempt in his time up at CU, so he's not clearly an option there. But hey, Jay Norvell's fighting for another contract. Jay Norvell's fighting to make some noise before they try to make more noise in a new conference here coming up. So if he was going to ride with Braden Fowler Nicolosi, well, he was going to ride with him to the bottom because they were going to continue to struggle there.
Right.
I think a quarterback change is needed.
Yeah, a quarterback change is needed, and it just lets you know, Coach, understand what's on the line this year. This year is a year where he gets paid or he gets, gone. Yeah, and that's the way college football is. That's the way just football is in general. So if you need to make a quarterback change, you're not going to play Northern Colorado every week, right? So you need to have the best product out there for the talent that you do have. They can run the ball now. Colorado State can run the ball. They've got a young tight end that we're excited about. 2 young tight ends we're excited about with that team. But they've got to have the right quarterback out there. So I'm all for finding a way to find the best players that the Rams can put out there.
And the tight end you talk about, Jackson Warren's for real.
Mm-hmm.
Rocky Beers is just the coolest
Rocky
name
Beers
of all
is just
time.
he's like our mascot, right?
He's awesome. He's literally the mascot of Colorado. Rocky Beers. It's outstanding.
It's the greatest ever.
So let's see what it looks. The Rams are off this week. And they'll continue to have some time to go through this quarterback competition, but if they want to be real players, make some noise and get to a legitimate bowl game,
right?
You got to make a change at quarterback.
You got to make the right call. This call by Jay Norvell basically determines his career.
Agreed. You
going the right way, or you going the wrong way?
And by the way,
you staying in for fun, or you leaving?
They should actually be 0-2. They're very lucky that they're 1-1. A terrible call from the referee group is why they're 1-1.
Right.
The Bears beat them.
Right.
And it got robbed from them.
Yep.
So they're fortunate to even be where they are. Now, this was all over my timeline, Cecil, and I want to know what's cracking on yours. So Adam Silver, who we regularly call the worst, if not one of the worst. If he's not one, he's 1A. Worst commissioners in major sports. He did it again and was talking about the kind of state of the league and asked a question about how much it costs to watch regular season basketball. Didn't you have it? The thing that was, hey, if you want to watch every Nuggets games, it's about
like $1,200, yeah.
To watch every single Nuggets game.
Yep.
$1,300 to watch a basketball team. That's ridiculous, man. And by the way, are we all getting raises? Is our compensation to how we live matching what's happening here? I don't think it is. But Adam Silver, when he was asked this question about the cost of watching games, he gives possibly the worst answer he could have ever given.
There's a huge amount of our content that people can essentially consume for free. I mean, this is very much a highlights-based sport, so, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, you name it, any service, the New York Times for that matter, to the extent that your content is not behind a paid firewall. There's an enormous amount of content out there. YouTube, by another example, that is advertising based that consumers can consume.
I do like the little insecure laugh, too. Not behind a firewall. Okay, pick your battles there. I'm not sure the New York Times is the one you want to go at there, Adam Silver. But you know what I would have done if I heard that yesterday and I was a major advertising partner with the NBA? If I were, I don't know, Gatorade, the beers, the beer companies that advertise during football games, the car companies that advertise basketball games. You know what I would have done? As soon as I heard that, I would have said, get me on the line with Adam Silver. And then Adam would have picked up and said, hey, what can I do for you, Gatorade? And I'd say, you can end our deal. Because you don't care about live games where my commercials air and you're actually telling your fan base that they don't have to watch the live games where my commercials air. I'm done doing business with you, dude. You just tell them to watch SportsCenter. Check it out on Instagram.
Yeah.
Guess where my ads aren't on? SportsCenter and Instagram. What a foolish answer from Adam Silver.
It's like he's the worst commissioner in all of sports. Listen, basketball is a fantastic sport, but you don't say the quiet part out loud.
Exactly, dude.
You know what I mean? It's like serious basketball fans. Like, I love Matt Moore. You know how to piss him off? Hey, I just watched the last 5 minutes. I knew everything. Yeah, because real basketball fans are like, no, watch every second of every game. Yeah, well, if you can't, you watch the last 5 minutes, you pretty much know. You know what I mean? We go to a lot of Nuggets games. We'll have more Tribe meetups this year at Nuggets games. We appreciate everyone that stops by to say what's up and supporting the Tribe. The support from the Tribe has been fantastic. Thank you, guys. But don't say that. Don't give the little laugh, whatever that laugh was. Like,
it's an insecure laugh is what that is.
Don't basically say you don't have to watch.
That's literally
essentially what he was saying.
The guy that runs the league.
Yeah.
Talking to the fan base.
It's just a highlight thing, yeah.
Saying, yeah, it's all good.
Drink Sprite and watch some highlights. It's good.
Like I said, the business side of that, he cut off his own nose. Unbelievable. Adam Silver, unfreaking believable. Cease, what's on your timeline?
All right. Are you a Heisman House fan?
Oh, the commercials?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I am, dude.
Travis Hunter's portrait was just revealed in the new Heisman House.
Oh, I love that.
And it looks awesome, man. And
Heck
it's great
yeah.
to see him up there representing Colorado.
That's
Got
cool.
the big smile going. What's Baker's there, right? So you love to see that. Just Heisman House, when that commercial series first started, 10 years ago or whatever, like, that's pretty cool, man. It is Heisman House. And now Colorado gets representation there with Travis Hunter in the Heisman House.
I had not seen the photo. That's really cool. But the commercial that he's a part of, they're like moving into a new house, and Travis is like showing. He's like, I just got here, and Baker's moving his truck out and everything. It's really well done. They're well written. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's well written. Of course, what Barry Sanders in there as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, you love to see that, and you just love to see that Colorado jersey, man.
That's Barry Sanders. If you work for ESPN, you believe that's Shedeur Sanders, but he didn't win a Heisman.
Give me that, Jameis.
If ESPN ever tries to hire me, I never said that.
I will resist the temptation to because now there's comparisons of all these 6 first-round quarterbacks for Week 1, and there's a bunch of statistical comparisons that don't look good for Bo Nix, as he's the 6th rated one. But I do want to say this. This one I'll get maybe on Kev's good side, because Kev doesn't believe in aliens. He doesn't believe in Bigfoot. Somebody zoomed in on that Colorado Bigfoot.
I saw
you remember that?
One of you guys sent us that yesterday.
Yeah, I think I sent it.
And
So,
dude, he's like actually creeping around.
yeah, so either that's someone in a suit that acts like, a Bigfoot, or
Yeah.
that's Bigfoot.
He's hanging out with that
in
college
Colorado.
quarterback.
Yeah. And so I'm fascinated. If
You're
it's
a believer, though.
I'm interested. I'll say that. Because
See, 'cause
Joe Rogan, Mr. Joe Rogan,
Yeah.
he's done like super like in-depth Bigfoot stuff. He's like, nah, it's BS. And the one video that we have of Bigfoot from California or whatever, it was basically a guy in a suit. We pretty much all know that. So, could something live out there that we don't know about? Yeah. Yeah, you've seen the mountains.
Here, I'm a full believer in aliens, and I think those that don't are weird. But I have a hard time with this one because he's technically a wild animal, right?
Right.
Where are the other ones? Is he by himself? Is there a lady Bigfoot? And they're, bow chicka bow wow. So there's little Bigfoots going on. Why is there only one? And how long has this guy been alive?
I'm resisting the temptation of thinking about Bigfoot birth control, but okay, yeah. I mean, that's a question. You have questions. I don't have answers.
Okay.
I just saw the video and I, pressed the little like button.
Like when we say, I believe in aliens, plural.
Yeah.
We don't say, dude, there's Bigfoots out there. We say Bigfoot is out there. That's just impossible. There's not one of anything.
Don't get me on semantics. Now you're like Dion. What do you mean? What do you mean?
What's a solidified Bigfoot?
I mean, I've seen the Bigfoot. We play Bigfoots every week, but what's a solidified Bigfoot?
Who really has one of those?
Exactly. I guess Colorado does. So,
Kevin, that's great work. Right there.
that is awesome.
Dion
work.
hates me so much.
He'll be all right.
All right, so Bigfoot might still be there. That's where we're going.
Yeah.
If I believe in aliens, I feel like I have to believe in Bigfoot. I don't want to, but I kind of have to.
But one's planetary and one's interdimensional. So
I can
there's
pick.
a difference. Yeah, you can believe the way you want to believe.
Well, aliens are real. Bigfoot doesn't exist.
Okay.
That's some weirdo with no friends in a suit out there. That's what that is.
Do you believe in Batman?
Of course I believe in Batman.
Okay, good.
Of course.
We can still be friends.
I don't want to get kicked off this show.
I know.
All right, let's get into our lunch hour. Want to continue talking about these Denver Broncos. A new name popped up on the Broncos injury report on Wednesday. We've got to keep an eye on it because I'm a little worried. And Sean Payton had his eye on Colts tight end Tyler Warren back in April. Did his draft study help him for this weekend? Let's kick that around next.
Will J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey be featured more on offense? Will the Broncos defense carry the team to another victory? We'll react to it all in the Fan Football Postgame Show. Live on game day starting at the 2-minute warning. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99. And we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale. Now at AutoZone until September 22nd.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whether you're into local craft brews, adventurous cocktails, or ice-cold 29-degree drafts, they've got your drink. Pair it with scratch-made favorites from their special menu. And you've got the perfect way to wind down or turn up. Whatever your vibe, Twin Peaks is your go-to for the best happy hour in the league. See you tonight at Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
This is Jack for Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, where our testosterone therapy can help you sleep better, improve your sex drive, give you better gains in the gym, and more. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Brad.
My name is Brad. I've been a patient of Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic for over 3 years now. I just turned 50, and over the last couple of years, I've frankly just been tired. I've been more lethargic, didn't have the energy levels that I normally had when I came into Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. These guys are absolutely phenomenal. Losing weight, having more energy, all that's been a tribute to the testosterone therapy. And frankly, that's been a game changer for my life, my family, and my business. I am a huge fan, and I recommend it to all my friends. If you're feeling like I've been feeling, I would get in here, see these guys right away. Don't wait. Call Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic and change your life.
Thanks, Brad. Low T therapy will likely change your life. Call 720-440-7900. That's 720-440-7900. Or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call Trajan today at 720-405-3300. That's 720-405-3300.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states, as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Brandon Stokely from my friends at Roller Auction, leader in Colorado auctions for over 40 years. They conduct over 150 auctions every year, selling tens of thousands of items at the price you set. Auctions are held regularly for Colorado government agencies, and they always have big-ticket items at great prices. That's why I love Roller Auction. And almost all bidding is conducted online in real time, and it's open to the public. Anyone can participate. Check back regularly. New auctions are added weekly. Be the first to know about new auctions available for bidding when you sign up for email notifications. Go to rollerauction.com/thefan.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents Dover and Cecil.
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. 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 Can I kick it? Can I kick it? Can I kick it?
Yes, you can, and we're glad you are. We appreciate you kicking it here with us. Dover and Cecil hanging out every day until 2 o'clock. We roll 10 to 2, and we appreciate you for being a part of the tribe. We start every show with a little tribe roll call. Who are you? Where are you? What are you doing? You can still send those in throughout the course of the show, and we'll try to make time getting to those to give you guys a shout out on the program. We do got to talk about the Broncos injury report. We're going to hear a little bit from Sean Payton, and at some point, Cease, we should look ahead to the game we're all going to watch tonight with Week 2 kicking off there, Washington in Green Bay on Thursday Night Football. But I think it would be irresponsible for us to start and just jump right into this in our lunch hour without acknowledging what today is. And it is, of course, September 11th. And we all know why this date is significant and how much things changed in our world, in our country on this day a couple of decades ago. So acknowledgement for the families. I said it earlier, Cecil, and fully believe this. Continue to share stories, say names. Human forms pass away, but memories and their legacy can live on forever by stories that are told and names being spoken out loud. So continue to do those things. And man, we need to come together more now than ever. And we won't, but we need that. And we were never fully together in unison as we were on September 12th all those years ago. So today is a day none of us should forget and none of us should stop talking about for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, and it's a day that we'll always remember, and we need to remember the names, need to remember the folks that were lost that day, and just kind of the impact of history that day had on our country. And we're happy to provide y'all with entertainment that, it's a distraction. Yeah, what we do is a distraction. You know why? There's a lot of heavy stuff out there, and we don't need to get into it, but we know the heaviness that this country felt yesterday, and this community specifically felt yesterday. It's tough for a lot of us out there. We're happy to provide entertainment, some laughs, some silliness, and distraction from that heavy stuff, which is there.
That is, we've talked about this before. That's kind of what I look at this job as.
It's a sandbox.
There's plenty of people that can give you information and break news. I don't really have any interest in breaking news. I don't care about that. I'd love to be your distraction. If Cecil and I can make you not think about the bills that got to get paid or the kids that got to get picked up from school and you got to leave work early to do it, well, then we've done our job for the day. That's what I want to do, much more than give you sports news and information. Anybody can do that.
And that's why I feel so thankful. I want to help people. I want to help. And I've heard from people going through like chemo and stuff of like, hey, proud tribe member fighting cancer.
That's crazy, man.
And you guys helped me do that through chemo and through everything that all of us are going on and have going on to provide a little bit of that spark, a little bit of that laughter, a little bit of sports take, to be emotional and opinionated, and to provide that entertainment for you is a blessing. So we thank you guys out there, and we're here for you.
Yep. 100%. And never forget what today actually means and what came from that. All right, so now we can get into the sports talk and the conversation that was, Cecil, and I want to start with an injury report. We'll get to the Thursday report in a couple of hours, and then as Cecil said earlier, the Friday game designation report is really where we're going to figure some things out. But at some point today in that 4 o'clock hour, we should get an update, and we're really looking at an update on 3 players. John Franklin Myers, Dre Greenlaw, both of those gentlemen were DMPs yesterday. They did not practice. Evan Ingram has a calf, was limited. Mike Kliss told us earlier that's a good sign that he was limited, means they're going to try to work him towards playing in Sunday's game against the Indianapolis Colts. Dre Greenlaw we know about. It is a reason for concern. But John Franklin Myers is a bigger one in my opinion. You can tell me if you disagree or if you have another name there, Cease, but John Franklin Myers, sure they have some depth there, but they're already out of Malcolm Roach. So you're asking a lot of like Zach Allen, DJ Jones, Jonathan Cooper to be a run stuffer, and Nick Bonito not to get too greedy or pin those ears back too early and often, trying to get after Daniel Jones and slow down a dude like Jonathan Taylor. Obviously, we'll know more today and the final answer tomorrow. But that's what jumped off the screen to me. John Franklin Myers, knee, DMP.
Yeah.
I'm worried, dude.
Well, I'm worried because of Jonathan Taylor. And they're going to give DJ Giddens, 10 touches or whatever, but it's Jonathan Taylor. Taylor is, you have 2 players to stop or slow down. Number 1, and he is number 1. There's no debate here. It's Jonathan Taylor. You've got to slow him down. I'm not going to say stop. You can't really stop Jonathan Taylor. He can stop himself by dropping the ball at the goal line, which he's going to remember. That team's going to remember because things were different for Denver after that game. Things were different for Indianapolis as well.
Do fans hold up don't drop the ball signs, or does that just piss them off more? Do we say no signs or all the signs?
Well, it's a home game. If it was here, right. I'd say hold up all those signs. But Indy, I dare saying this because I know what you guys are going to do to me. Indy thinks Seth DeFlo is cool.
Yeah.
Okay? That tells you everything you need to know about Indianapolis. Am I taking a shot at the city? Yes, I am.
Indy, me, Kevin, and Drew. We all think Seth's cool.
Okay. All right. Well, good for you, bud. That's what I'll say. But for me, it comes down to Jonathan Taylor and that JFM injury. It is a big concern for this Broncos defense. Even though they have the depth on the defensive line, even though I appreciate Jordan Jackson, appreciate Awazarike and what they've done, I'm looking forward to Savion Jones getting a jersey and an opportunity to play. That's a guy that can be very disruptive. And in fact, Jones makes me feel a little bit better, and here's why. He's the reason why you're not going to pay JFM. Savion Jones was drafted essentially to be your JFM replacement. We've seen this before. For example, years past, Bradley Roby was drafted to replace Aqib Talib. Spoiler alert, he did not do that. He wasn't good enough to do that. Bradley Roby became a different asset, and he was an asset. He's part of that no-fly zone that people don't talk about enough. He was an important asset. Savion Jones was drafted to essentially replace JFM because their games are so much similar. Now, I think Savion's a little bit more difficult to stop. Like, JFM has a lot of savvy and movement within his strength. Savion is like a Tasmanian devil. It's just strength upon strength. You can't stop. There's no way to stop this kid. He didn't get a jersey last week because you have Awazarike, you have Jordan Jackson, you've got plenty of defensive linemen. So if you're down JFM, it's a huge concern because Jonathan Taylor is a superstar running back. No question, no doubt. But you've got a nice rotation of defensive linemen. And I've got the key to... I need to have a beer with Vance Joseph sometime. Not just the press conference thing. We do the little fist bump or whatever. What's up, VJ?
Bring him a beer today. See what he does.
Just walk in. Patrick's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm just bringing VJ. We're having beers. Yeah. I would have one. He'd have one. But the thing is, I know how to beat Daniel Jones. It's pretty easy. You know how it is?
Just get after him all day?
No, it's the opposite. You just play him straight up.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're dropping more than you're bringing.
Exactly. You just you rush 4. It's math. You drop 7. And you just play him straight up. You make Daniel Jones his worst enemy because he's his worst enemy. He's an awful quarterback. You don't want to make him look like, what he do against the Dolphins? And it's Danny Dimes. And we appreciate Pat McAfee. He's your buddy. He loves your hair.
Yeah.
He may not love it now.
Yeah.
Because your haircut.
I don't know if we're friends anymore that I don't have the hair.
I know, exactly. Got to get the hair back. But, Pat McAfee's playing all this, and I know it's his shtick or whatever, but, stop playing Colts highlights. They're not going anywhere.
He's all in on the Colts.
Okay, yeah, they are not a contender. They're not a real championship team. They're not even a playoff team. So go out there, prove it this week. But with Daniel Jones, you don't rush him and create an opportunity for him to kill you as a runner. You don't want that. You don't want him to out-crush you as a runner because he can still do that. So if you play him straight up and make him his own worst enemy, you're still going to get pressure, but his internal pressure is perhaps even greater than the pressure that you can bring. Mm-hmm. So play him straight up and make sure you're stuffing the run. Number one priority with JFM, without JFM. Savion Jones gets a jersey, Savion Jones inactive. You've got to make sure you stuff the run this week.
Well, you know what? You said something there that made me think about. I like your idea. You bring 4, you trust your horses up front, you drop 7, and you let those guys on the back end go to work. That's a luxury the Broncos could have if they're playing with a touchdown 10-point lead, 7 to 10-point lead. Because you're talking about Jonathan Taylor not being a threat at that point. Or, I don't want to speak for you, do you trust those 4 guys up front to still make enough noise, stopping Jonathan Taylor if the game's tight? Because that's what would make me a little bit nervous, is not having a Singleton, like I always say, playing on your toes rather than your heels. You're anticipating a run more than you are a pass. I think that's what the Colts are going to look to do, at least establish that a lot early on. And if you're reliant or just almost giving them the luxury of you're going to have to beat us with him, then all of a sudden we're looking up at halftime and Jonathan Taylor's got 80 yards rushing.
I'm not going to get too X's and O's here. But there's a funnel technique you could use where it's okay, we're going to have 4. We stack the line to stuff the run. Okay, that's fine. That's an avenue. But you also can funnel Taylor where you want him to go and just make sure your tacklers are there.
Okay.
So it's a 2-yard gain. instead of stack the line to stuff the run. Because here's what happens. Here's the danger. And Taylor did this last year. Taylor will do it again this year. Maybe this is what I asked VJ today. Like, what lessons can you take from the way Jonathan Taylor performed against you last year to this year, Coach? Because here's what they did. You remember what they did? Here's what they did. Stack the line. Once he's past that, what happens if you have 8 defenders in the box? What happens if that superstar running back happens to get past that first wave? Tell me what happens.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Fastest kid alive.
Can't stop it. That's what happened last year. So do I want a repeat of last year? I mean, I want a Broncos win again, but I don't want a repeat of Jonathan Taylor's gashing you because you're stacking the line, you're stuffing the run, and they are gashing you up front. And he is just running away from you because he gets by your first wave, and then you've got no answer. And then you have safeties with bad angles. Play him straight up, rush 4, and funnel Taylor where you want him to go, and make Jones his own worst enemy. Get in Daniel Jones' head yet. That's what you should be doing. Make sure that mentally he's expecting you look at, and maybe Hufanga like comes down or something, and then Jones is like, he changes protection, and then Hufanga backs up as the ball is snapped.
Yeah.
There's ways to mess with Jones' head while also funnel technique for Jonathan Taylor. Get him where you want him to go. Just make sure your tacklers are there and they're sound. Like Alex Singleton. Put Alex Singleton in play.
Sure, trust
Let
him,
him
yeah.
fill the hole. Let him be your funnel point.
Well, to your point of what it was a year ago, before Jonathan Taylor ruined the game for his own team, 22 carries, 107 yards, 4.8 yards per carry, didn't find the back of the end zone, but it was an issue slowing him down a year ago. And they also didn't have, what week was that? They still had Alex Singleton at that point, didn't they?
No, he was gone after the, Buccaneers game? Because we were
right,
preparing for the Jets.
trip.
We were out
Yeah,
in West
yeah, that's
Virginia.
what it was. So,
It's
yeah,
a
he wasn't
downpour, and Alex Singleton's in a brace.
I want Jonathan Taylor. I think you said this earlier. He's the focal point.
Yeah.
You take him out of the game.
Yep.
And as dangerous as I think Tyler Warren can be, I'm so glad the Broncos are getting the Colts and Tyler Warren in week 2 of his NFL season, because that dude's going to be a real threat and a problem moving forward for defensive coordinators.
Yes.
But right now, he's still kind of figuring out who he is, and Daniel Jones figuring out who he is this version of. Take Jonathan Taylor out of that game. I'm a little hesitant of trusting just an Alex Singleton in the one-on-ones. I would stack the box a little bit more until you do have a 7-10 point lead, and then VJ can get a little bit more creative and trust guys on the outside a little bit more.
Yeah. I think the Broncos have a plan in place that is number one paramount: stuff or slow down Jonathan Taylor. Then you got to double team Tyler Warren. And yeah, if Alec Pierce gets you, then whatever. You know, if Donnie Mitchell gets you on a play, like whatever, dude, that's going to happen. It's football. It's not going to be a perfect game. You know, whereas a month ago I thought, man, you might shut out the Titans. No, that changed because your offense isn't where it needs to be yet. In week 2, I'm not sure they're there either, based on what we observed in week 1.
Yeah.
So, like, defense needs to lead the way. And as weird as it may seem, Mace talked about this yesterday on OBT. As weird as it may seem, there's going to be a day, and we can pick the day because I'm pretty sure it's week 4, where it's the offense that bails you out. There's going to be some day, or maybe multiple games, on this schedule where, man, the defense, they just, oh, man, and Surtain dropped that one pick, and, oh, Nick Benito, he was almost there with the sack, but then he got the pass off, and it was a touchdown, and you're going to have those days.
Yep.
There's going to be days where Zach Allen, Nick Benito, Jonathan Cooper, they turn to Bo Nix and they go, you got this one. There's going to be days like, it's not week 2. This offense is not ready. Week 2. It's still preseason, mainly, across the league. What did we learn in week 1? The Dolphins stink, right?
Yeah.
And the Broncos are a work in progress offensively. So defense carries them now. There's going to be a game or two where the offense needs to carry him, and they need to be ready for that.
Well, we talk so much about run-pass balance. That's football team balance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your defense is better right now. I don't know that the offense is going to match that production. I think the defense can be the number one defense throughout the course of this season.
Sure.
This offense got a long ways to go before I'm comfortable being like, you know what, Cecil, I think this offense could be number one in the NFL. There's a lot of work to be done there, but they'll be better, and that gap will close between the two sides.
Yeah, and you need to see J.K. Dobbins and Evan Ingram pay off for this offense. Yeah. That's the thing. Dre Greenlaw can be an all-pro when he's healthy. Spoiler alert, he's not healthy. Talanoa Hufanga is an all-pro, and we saw it in week 1.
He's all
what
over
a
the field.
Difference maker. But I could also say similarly, not in a star-studded way, J.K. Dobbins was real solid. J.K. Dobbins, and it's not just the, throw a starving man a cracker and be like, that's the best cracker I ever had.
Mm-hmm.
What is that, Ritz? No, it's a saltine. Saltine. Like, J.K. Dobbins is better than Javonte Williams. Don't at me, bro. But he's so solid. Like, that's exactly what this team needed. If you had a Jonathan Taylor, that'd be great. Hi, it's the Denver Broncos. It's Sean Payton. Maybe Sean wouldn't use him. Jonathan Taylor, what? I got that second back we need to use. Yeah. Let's get Jaleel on the field. But if you have that super stud running back, that's awesome. But if you just have a rock-solid back like J.K. Dobbins who can do everything, you don't sweat at all, he's not out there fumbling, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, like none of that. I think Dobbins' game was kind of overlooked last week just because the rest of the offense was poor. Sutton was good. Franklin was good. JK and RJ were good.
Well, I would say my push is not even really pushback. I would say that RJ Harvey 50-yard run it's the highlight of what the running game was.
Yeah.
Even though JK had a hell of a touchdown run, it just wasn't. It didn't pop the way that did.
Right, and for the backfield, I guess what I'm saying is I don't need it to pop. I need the lunch pail. You and I are both blue-collar guys. A lot of people out in the tribe are blue-collar people. We appreciate you. We love you, and we got that lunch pail right there with you, man.
But you know what? That lunch pail mindset and approach to running the football leads to big popping plays in the third and fourth quarter of games.
Right.
That's why we were so frustrated on Monday. Like, yeah, it's right. It's okay if it's 2 or 3 yards for the first 30 minutes of the game. That turns into 6, 7, or a 50-yard scamper when you get there in the third and fourth quarter. That's why I was so frustrated on Monday, man. That it doesn't have to. You don't have to win gold every time you run the football.
Right.
It's okay to fail a couple of times because you are playing the long game. That's where my real frustration came with Sean. It still doesn't feel like he understands the long game of a 60-minute football game.
The last second-year quarterback to win a Super Bowl was Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And who was running the ball?
Marshawn.
Is he blue-collar or what?
Hell yeah, he is.
And he's blue-collar because he drinks on the job. Man alive, them construction guys I used to work with, they could drink. Them Wisconsin guys saying oofty, throwing hammers at me.
Did you just hear Marshawn trying to pronounce Shea Gilgeous-Alexander? It was so good, dude. It was so good.
Marshawn's the best. And then when Peyton Manning, Kevin, don't get mad here. Please, get as offended as you like. But when Peyton was like perplexed that Marshawn was drinking what, Hennessy? Yeah. And then remember Peyton was interviewing Marshawn. He's like, "Where'd you get that liquor from?" And Marshawn's like, "My locker."
He said it was in my backpack.
Do you think Peyton had a little regret of like, you mean I could have taken some Hennessy before a game?
You don't think old Peyton had a little sip of Bud Light or anything
he might have, after the game, right?
Okay,
He had the Bud Light, the
yeah,
crack in the Bud Light. Yeah, okay. But yeah, I thought it was funny when Peyton's like, "Where'd you keep that?" My locker.
Might have gave Peyton some extra speed getting out of the pocket.
Yeah. Anytime a guy's saying like this kind of stuff.
When I threw a face, then you don't have to worry about him no more.
That's what I want, Sean Payton. And in fact, instead of run it, I want him to have run through a blankety-blanket's face.
Face, then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, can Sean Payton write that on his play sheet? Then the camera wouldn't zoom in.
Yeah.
See, there's the key, because Sean was all offended. He was all
some swear words.
He was Polly Prissy Pants about it, where he's like, "They're zooming in on my play sheet." Well, put some cuss words on it, and national TV's not going to zoom in on that, Sean.
That's good. I want to hear this from Sean. When it comes to his quarterback play, from Bo, what are you looking for? Perfection, precision? How's Sean answer that?
The perfection comes from the precision. And so when a game ends and you evaluate it and then you say, all right, how are we with the details? We're fairly young. And so if we feel like the answer isn't maybe up to what we want, then we've got to look at how much, not just cut back, but evaluate. And we're always trying to evaluate what do they do best. But I don't know how many games I've called. But that's one of those where, I came away from it like, man, I've got to be a lot better. And, it was one of those games especially early. And so in that self-check, in that process, the day after, if you will, if you're not careful, sometimes the game can be over and you're on to the next opponent, and you haven't really, you've heard me use that term, debriefed properly. And we're really trying to pay attention to that so that regardless of the outcome, this accelerated curve that everyone's on, where everyone's in a race here these first 4 weeks, and we've got to be leading the way. And so in all areas.
And again, I do like that he's talking about taking some of the blame, following on a little bit of that sort. And really what I take away from that answer is it does sound like he understands a little bit of like, this can set this up. This can help Bo set this up moving forward. But I'm still going to be, a little reserved on how I feel about Sean Payton, because I also heard him say that multiple times a year ago. And here we are in his third year having the same conversation.
Yeah, we can do the old heard that before, said that before. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. I'm done. Listen, we don't do the lazy radio thing of playing the entire press conference during our show and get as offended as you like when Sean Payton talks for 37 minutes. Mm-hmm. But we take what he says, the best of what he says. That's it, dude. I'm done. I don't need to hear play. Call a good game. Be better. I like the fact that he's falling on the sword, but I don't need that like, oh, here I'm falling on the sword again. You know what I don't want to hear? Sunday? Yeah, I need to call a better game. Yeah, we probably could have ran the ball a little bit more. He's fallen on the sword once. Bo fell on the sword a little bit. Stop doing that. Mm-hmm. Stop. Play better. Call a better game. Execute better as a passer. And let's go, man. You don't have the luxury. One, you're on everybody's radar right now. You're never going to sneak up on anybody.
He did that.
And instead of having like a ramp up of 4 weeks and then week 5, now Bo's getting it, you've got a 2-week on ramp. And the Colts are not a gimme game. The Titans, what did Zach Bye say before the start of the season? Like, the Tennessee Titans may be the most winnable home game of the entire. Okay, you barely won that thing. I know it was 2012. Don't at me, bro, whatever. But, like, you should have clown hammered the Titans, and you didn't because your quarterback was turning the ball over left and right. I'm done, man.
And there was no run game.
You don't have the luxury to kind of wait on this thing. You've got a couple of weeks. This is your second week. We're expecting improvement. If you're going to say Super Bowl, and if the capability is there to win 11, 12, or even 13 games, as I've predicted, you've got to look better starting now.
It's got to be done this weekend. Has to be done this weekend. One of our buddies, an old NFL buddy, just texted me. Said Kubiak used to make us do correction walkthroughs on Monday morning when we didn't play well on Sunday.
I like that.
You think Sean did any of that on Monday?
I'm not sure.
He did say we're not going to just turn this. He said we're going to spend the first 4 or 5 hours today going back on what we did wrong. I kind of like that. Maybe it is a correction walkthrough. I would love to hear a little bit more about that.
We haven't talked about it much yet, but both Court and Bo, and I think even Sean talked about it yesterday, of like they didn't spend much time on that last play because Court was more wide open. Mm-hmm. So even Court's like, yeah, I mean, we talked about it, but we didn't dwell on it. And I do like that. Don't dwell on this. Fix your mistakes. Be better. Mm-hmm. Period.
Yeah, when I do something stupid, I don't bring it up either. So it's a good move from Sean Payton.
You don't go back to your lady and say, hey, remember when I messed up that one time? You want to talk about it some more?
I don't do that.
Yeah, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. When you mess up, just put it in the past.
So you want Bo to be better. I want Bo to be better. The offense has to look better than it did in week 1. And the Colts are having problems in one specific area that might just lead to a whole lot of better for Bo in the offense. We'll tell you what it is next.
Denver is headed east to take on Indianapolis. Kick your football Sunday off in style with Denver Game Day, powered by Common Spirit Health, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos. Live on Game Day starting at 10 a.m. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Donnie here with Fitness Gallery, where we believe there's nothing more important than your health. I'm thrilled to invite you to our biggest event of the season, the summer clearance sale happening right now at all 7 of our Colorado locations. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment.
Hi, I'm Terrell Davis, 2-time world champion and Pro Football Hall of Famer. That's why I made the smart move to invest in fitness equipment with Fitness Gallery. It's a game changer.
Our summer clearance sale won't last long. These deals end soon.
Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated, because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life, and fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You could even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Who wants the lowest rate for life?
I do.
I do. Everyone does. But even the best deal in the market becomes high if rates fall in the future. So now what? Go through all the expense again? No. Just go to U.S. Mortgages and get our trademarked lowest rate for life product. It allows you to get your savings today and lock in at below market rates like our 4.75 5-year fixed that has a 5.89 APR.
Wait, 4.75% 5 years fixed?
Yes, and even if the market does improve further, great. We redo your loan with no lender fees and no appraisal fee, and there's no limit to the number of times you can use this. So stop waiting for rates to get better and wasting money. Lock in your savings now and know you're 100% protected with lowest rate for life. Call 303-LOW-RATE. That's 303-LOW-RATE or online at usmloan.com. Rate must be locked by 9/16.
All loans subject to approval and change. See website for complete details. License number 392126.
Mike Evans here for Copperhead Plumbing. Your home doesn't have to flood before you know there's a problem. With the Mow and Flow Smart Water Shutoff System, you can monitor your home's water usage in real time right from your phone. You'll get notified the moment a leak starts. Trust Copperhead Plumbing for professional installation. Ask about installing a Mow and Flow system today.
Copperhead Plumbing, built to last. Call us once, you'll forget the past.
Copperhead Plumbing. They plumb different. They plumb custom.
International Highway Association and Durana Hybrid, reigniting racing and skilled trades, mentorship, education, legacy. Get your tickets now at ihra.com.
You're listening to Dover and Cecil on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
We all want the Broncos offense to be better, bounce back. Got a win last week, but it just didn't look pretty. Didn't feel good by any means. And they may have that opportunity this weekend against the Colts, and for one very specific reason, Cecil, because the Indianapolis Colts, by the time we get to Sunday's kickoff at 2:05
right
on, what do we got, CBS this week? On CBS, the Colts could be rolling out CB3 and CB4 as their starting cornerbacks. Shavarius Ward is dealing with concussion. Will he be able to get out of concussion protocol by Sunday? And Jalen Jones, on the practice report, he's listed as did not practice, but I read last night that he's out for multiple weeks on the other side over there with a hamstring injury. Yeah. So Jalen Jones won't be available. Ward looks like, I mean, if he's in concussion protocol on Thursday, sure, there's a chance, but probably not likely that he goes. So Cecil, That means CB3 for the Indianapolis Colts will be guarding Cortland Sutton. CB4 for the Indianapolis Colts, last week it was Troy Franklin. We've talked earlier in the show about what role Marvin Mims will play, and if Evan Ingram is out, guess what? Marvin Mims is going to have a bigger role and more responsibility, and it would be CB4 chasing around a guy like Marvin Mims. So we want the Broncos offense to bounce back, and some injuries to Colts corners might just put the Broncos in a good position to do so.
Yeah, it's putting them in a good position. You do have still guys like Mekhi Blackman and Xavier Howard there. So I know their CB3, CB4, Kenny Moore's there as their slot corner. They've still got some playmakers in the secondary. And Bo has to be better to take advantage of it. They can be banged up as they want to be. If Bo's still throwing picks.
Oh, if he's 5 seconds late on a read.
If he's holding on to the ball too long.
Even Howard can get to that ball.
Yeah, and, Xavier Howard may not be what he used to be, but he's still a good player. Like, that's a team that has some depth. What, to me, if you look over the Colts, injury report and the practice report, Latte Latu, one of the, a nice young rusher for them, defensive end edge player, was also limited with a hamstring. He's basically their Nick Benito, and he's a UCLA kid.
That's right.
So he's basically like their Nick Benito. Their Nick Benito is banged up. I kind of like that. I like that for the Denver Broncos. So secondary banged up, edge rusher fighting a little bit of a hamstring thing. Go out there and push these guys around up front. The Broncos offensive line, and I believe it's low-hanging fruit to just blame the offensive line. Mike Evans was doing that this morning, and I so wanted to go through the grades with Mike because the grades are very positive. Not for Bo Nix. The Bo Nix grades are not positive. He did not play well. The grades are very positive for the offensive line. They were credited with 0 sacks in week 1.
Yeah. Doesn't Sean himself call a sack a quarterback stat?
Yeah, it is a quarterback stat.
If Sean says it, I'm going to roll with it.
And those picks, Marvin didn't change. Oh, God. Bo threw it. It got picked off. So I think it's low-hanging fruit to just blame all of the woes on, the offensive line. Bo had pressure. Guess what Bo's going to have on Sunday? Pressure. Guess what Bo better deal with better? Pressure. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't mean the offensive line is garbage or whatever. And Mike, Stoke stood up for the offensive line. Stoke was on point. He was on the money, right? Evans was talking nuts, craziness here. I don't know what's going on. But, Stoke was defending the offensive line like they're a rock-solid unit because they are. They actually grade out to be a top 5 unit, both pass blocking and run blocking.
Let me give you the latest from ESPN.
Okay.
They're 11th in pass block win rate, 10th in run block from week 1.
So we need to change that to around top 10, not top 5. Last year they were top 5.
That's just 1 week, yeah.
Yeah, 1 week. So top 10 offensive line, both pass blocking and run blocking. Okay, yeah, that'll do, Pig. It's enough. Bo Nix needs to be better. We can't, when Bo struggles, we need to look at the why. Sean Payton's play calling, that's a big why. Bo Nix's execution, that's another why. That's the second one.
I watched Bo Nix do something I didn't see him do after week 5 a year ago, and that's trust in his arm strength more than his brain. That's not going to work.
That's not his game.
That's not going to work, no.
He doesn't have the Josh Allen rocket.
No, he doesn't.
His arm's not weak at all. But it's also not that rocket where I can fit it in there. No, you can't. No, you can't. Be on time, be on target, be the Bo Nix that we know you are. Because week 1 wasn't really that. It was something else. But now you're going to be able to pick on these backup corners. You may have their best edge rusher, one of their best edges, a little bit banged up with a hamstring in Latu. So it's an advantage here for Denver, as funny as it sounds, because we're worried about JFM and where's Dre Greenlaw at? They actually may be healthier than the Colts right now, and it's week 2, and we're already talking about that.
With the Broncos, we are looking at 3 starters, the possibility of Ingram, John, and Dre, John Franklin Myers. But, we already talked about the 2 corners. I guess Latu was a limited player, but that's a hamstring, as you mentioned. You don't really want to mess with that.
With an edge guy.
And then even Tyler Gotson, he's not going to play a ton.
No.
Yeah, and Pittman and Pierce were full. So this is just the key players. 2 starting cornerbacks.
Yeah.
When you're going up against Cortland Sutton, Troy Franklin, Marvin Mims, whoever may take that big step.
Do you know that a lot of people take issue with Sean Payton talking about Super Bowls, right?
Yeah.
I don't. The thing I take issue with, Sean, that you don't ever want to tempt the football gods, but he's running around like, we're the healthiest team ever in the last 2 years, and that is statistically true.
I'm going to knock on wood for you.
And we believe in King Dingaling.
Yeah.
Bo Lowry.
Bo Lowry.
He is the king. Let's just not tempt the football gods talking about how injury-free you are. Can we see Dre Greenlaw? before we talk about that?
Right, he hasn't touched the field yet.
Can JFM not have a knee thing? And again, that's not on Bo, but it's like you're staying healthy. You're likely healthier than the Colts are. That's a good thing. Let's keep it that way. Don't tempt the football god, Sean.
We watched Bad Boys this weekend because it's always on TV.
Nice.
And I love that part with the Porsche and Marino. And he's like, oh, you should buy this car. Not this car because I'm going to get up, but you should buy this car.
I love it. Second one, no. Third one, yes. Is that the way it went?
I mean, I didn't hate any of them. The first was the
Don't give
best.
me the pizza thing. Hey, any Bad Boys is good. It's like pizza. There's no bad pizza.
Yeah.
No. There's a bad Bad Boys?
There's a Bad Boys.
Yeah, 2. I think 2 was bad, and then 3 was better.
Whatever
and 4 was better.
Gabrielle Union was in, I'm all for it.
You're a fan?
Yeah. She's in the ocean and stuff with that guy.
Okay.
That was one of my favorite scenes.
That was good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I enjoy her work. Isn't she married to Dwayne Wade? I believe she's married to Dwayne Wade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congrats
on
the happy
research.
couple.
I'll do some research
Yes.
later. So, yeah, the Broncos are going to get some favors if those cornerbacks cannot go. Couple more numbers to share with you. Nick Bonito, number 1 in league pass rush win rate among edge rushers after 1 week. Per ESPN, and Jonathan Cooper was number 10. No other team had 2 edge rushers land inside the top 10. So we said it last week. We were both honestly pleasantly surprised that Nick Bonito looked like he was a little bit better stuffing the run. And Jonathan Cooper, we know that's his forte.
That's what he does.
But he also can get to the quarterback, as he showed us a week ago as well. So sounds like the Broncos, at least the edge rushers, are picking up right where they left off. The pressures that they put on the Colts, on the Titans last week, 28 quarterback pressures. So that defensive line, now that was with JFM, they continue to do the work that we know they can do.
Yeah. So get the work done and make it happen. If you're the Denver Broncos, you've got a tougher than some thought opponent facing you in week 2, and really that doesn't have anything to do with week 1 because Miami's terrible. It has to do with Jonathan Taylor and Tyler Warren. That's a superstar running back, and that's a potential superstar tight end. It's a lot to deal with, even if Daniel Jones is your quarterback.
You told Drew not to only pick teams that the Dolphins were playing for his winners pool.
Yes, yeah.
And I told him to pick the Cowboys because they're playing the Giants.
You are going to rue the day that you ever decided to pick the Cowboys.
Dude, Russell Wilson is so
How
terrible.
can you trust the Cowboys? Don't trust the Cowboys, Drew.
You can't trust the Cowboys, but if you're going to trust them, now's probably the only time you can maybe possibly think about doing it.
It's like you can't trust the Cowboys, but you can count out Russell Wilson.
Okay.
Right.
Now, oh, God, Brian Daboll. I was just going to
And
say.
Brian Daboll. Thank you.
Do you trust the head coaches? Because, you look at what New England's going to bring to the field. It's more than just Drake May playing hero ball. You know what I mean? Like, do you trust Mike Vrabel more than Mike McDaniel? Because I do. I'm going Patriots. If I'm in a survivor pool, I'm picking Patriots on the road against the Dolphins.
I don't trust New England going down south to Miami in September and playing well.
And their
down there.
division opponents.
Divisional opponents, yeah. In theory, you would think, that New England's going to bounce back from losing the Raiders. Miami can't be as bad as they were last week. They can't be. Right?
Right. Yeah. Please tell me that.
Just how good are the Colts? Like, we don't even know how good the Colts are. Like, we anticipate they're real solid. I think that's fair to say. The Colts are a solid team. They look like megastars against the Dolphins.
They did. But is it more about what Indy did or what Miami didn't do? I don't know.
I watched a lot of the game. Miami wasn't doing a lot.
I would never put my chips on Dallas.
I know. I'm going to regret it, but I think I might do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
and thanks for that, because I already did it. Where was this information yesterday?
Listen, Dallas looked like pretty decent last Thursday night.
Dude, and they lost. There's a little bit of the revenge type of factor.
Right.
You start 0-2, your playoff chances plummet.
And we all know, it's all going to crumble for Dallas. It's only a matter of time, but I don't think it's going to start in week 2.
The best bet you can make is betting against Russell Wilson.
Agreed. At this point in his career, absolutely.
Yeah.
So Tua Tagovailoa is better than Russell Wilson?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Do you disagree?
Tua is not good.
No.
Neither is Russ, dude.
Russ isn't even the best quarterback on his own team.
That's the one thing that might hurt Drew and I picking the Cowboys is that Russ gets benched early enough and Jackson Dart comes in and makes it a game.
There you go. That's why you don't pick them.
I trust Dak. Dak, say what you will about the Cowboys, but Dak is a pretty darn good quarterback.
I agree with you.
I'm gonna rely on Dak, even though on Monday I may regret this.
Come Monday, we're both dog cussing and be like,
By
shut
the way,
up, Cecil.
And Cecil be like, I told you guys you should listen to
All
me.
of us are picking the Eagles, by the way. Eagles-Chiefs, and it's going to happen during the Broncos game, which
that sucks.
That
sucks.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Not
go.
for you, Drew, because you'll be watching Chiefs-Eagles.
No, I'll be watching the Broncos. Come on now.
Let's look inside the NFL a little bit. I got a story about Tyreek Hill, some story about Shedeur Sanders and his jersey. I want to talk about that a little bit. And Cecil, I want to do this. I want to make sure we do this each week before the next Broncos game. Some week 1 AFC West observations. 3 wins, and the Chiefs are the only one winless. Let's look around the division next.
Does Sean Payton need to make changes to his game plan after week 1?
He put his agenda and his offense and his quarterback, who he proclaimed to be trending towards being a top 4, top 5, and when that man struggles throughout the afternoon, it's almost like daddy ball. And I'm telling you, it's unacceptable and it's inexcusable.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Advent Health is Littleton's home for highly specialized, life-changing heart care. From preventive screenings to personalized treatment options, it's heartfelt care from expert hands. The Advent Health Heart and Vascular Institute is now open, ready to provide wholehearted care for your whole health.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Replace stop, opt out. Terms and conditions apply to the earnings promotion.
Do you have caregiving experience as a parent, teacher, nanny, coach, or in another similar role? Hop Skip Drive is looking for experienced caregivers who want to help students in their community by driving them to and from school. Earn up to $50 per ride with Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion, all while helping your community. If you have your own vehicle that is no more than 10 years old, a clean driving record, and at least 5 years of caregiving experience, you could become a Hop Skip Drive care driver. Just text STUDENT to 323232 to get started right now. Hop Skip Drive gives you the flexibility to set your own schedule and earn competitive pay. It's simple. Drive in your free time and make a real difference for students right in your neighborhood. Don't wait. Text STUDENT to 323232 right now. Text STUDENT to 323232 and start earning up to $50 per ride during Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion period. That's STUDENT to 323232. Text STUDENT to 323232 now.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Restore your bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning hair with the same simple one-day treatment I receive from Dr. Tanya Pauls of Advanced Hair. Your own natural hair begins regrowing the very next day, and your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts, call 720-459-HAIR, AdvancedHair.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game and the go-to spot for football season, with wall-to-wall TVs, hearty eats, ice-cold drinks, and of course, those scenic views. It's a full-on experience whether you're catching college or pro games this season. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here. Imagine your home quieter, cooler, and more beautiful with the new Infinity from Marvin windows. Right now, Gravina's Window Center of Littleton is offering 25% off. These aren't ordinary windows. They're built to outlast, outperform, and turn heads. Family owned since 1973, trusted across Colorado, and they never cut corners. Call them 303-794-0490 or visit windowsforyourhome.com. Don't delay. Quality costs less than regret.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 for Kids.
1-877 Cars for Kids.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Football is back, and it's time for you to get in the game. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is here to help, and we're giving away a PlayStation 5 bundle. Download the Denver Sports app and tap the contest banner on the homepage for your chance to win a PS5 console, a 70-inch flat-screen TV, plus copies of Madden 26 and College Football 26. Don't wait. Download the Denver Sports app now. 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. It's Dover and Cecil on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Yeah, see, I'm real down with this. This is nice right here.
This is what your dad listened to driving his Grand National around.
Exactly, dude. Well, my first concert.
You went to see Kiss as your first concert?
I guess I saw Criss Cross, but it was on like a beach, so it didn't feel real. First in-arena concert
Was Kiss.
and Aerosmith.
Okay. I thought you were going to say Criss Cross opened for Kiss. I was like, whoa.
No. Criss Cross was performing at like Daytona Beach, and we went out and we were in Florida, but we saw them. But Kiss and Aerosmith at Fiddler's Green back in the day with my dad. I had my permit because I had to drive him home. That's how I remember. Because he had a good time, like you should. Yeah, so like, people dressed up. I learned about the Kiss Army at that concert.
Right,
I didn't know what that was.
Yes.
And they were out strong representing here in CO.
Yes.
It's fun stuff. All right, Cecil. Let's, again, 12:45, fantasy questions. If you guys want to throw anything at Cecil, we'll take a couple minutes at the end of the segment.
Why
see if
did
he can
Kev
answer
play
some.
Love Gun on the fantasy segment?
I just played some rock and roll. I wasn't looking too much
You
into
were
it.
looking at the title, Love Gun? I think about it. What was he talking about there? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder what he was talking
Exactly. It's Kiss.
I just grabbed
It's Kiss. It's partying and ladies.
That's right.
That's about it.
So, yeah, send in fantasy stuff. We'll make sure we give a couple minutes at the end here. Maybe you got a question about tonight's game or a player in tonight's game.
Kistner just has a dirty mind. That's
who
all.
you should or shouldn't
Maybe
play.
I do. I don't know.
I think both of you guys are probably doing all right.
No, I think it's more Cecil.
Oh, thanks.
Thinking dirty.
Cecil, let's look around the NFL and specifically the AFC West a little bit. It's actually a beautiful time right now where if you look up at the standings, it's 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 0-1 for the Kansas City Chiefs because they got the party started and lost on Friday night to the Chargers by 6, 27-21. So with the Chargers, we said it earlier, are they actually a pass-first football team? Will they really let guys like Justin Herbert air it out? Or are they eventually going to return to form of who a Harbaugh-led team is and run the hell out of the football?
I believe it's going to be Harbaugh's love for Justin Herbert that really kind of changes Greg Roman in this offense. It might be from Harbaugh saying, you know what, let's air this thing out. You know what we got? Now, Lad McConkey will make you change your mind there.
He had a great game.
Tight end, not really. Will Dissly and Quentin Johnston that comes through, former first-round pick there, TCU kid. So, they've got some assets. They've got some weapons. Keenan Allen's back. So perhaps it's Jim Harbaugh being able to go to Greg Roman and say, you know what, Herbert's an elite-level passer. This dude is a special quarterback because he is. Justin Herbert is one of the best quarterbacks in the game, and he doesn't get hardly any attention because mostly he's handing off, except for week 1 in Brazil. So I don't know if Greg Roman got a hold of some bad food or something and started thinking differently. Maybe some psychedelics. I don't know. It's Brazil. Who knows? But, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if they are a pass-happy team because if they are, that changes the math.
Dude, if they can execute. So you can be a pass-happy team and throw a bunch of incompletions.
Yeah.
You can execute to the level that they executed in week 1 and then implement a run game. They're a problem.
I don't want Spivak to be right about the Chargers or stink.
Problem.
Because that's his favorite team in the AFC West. Is like the Chargers are going to win the division. Well,
their coach is great. You said it. Their quarterback is great. At the NFL level, you can check those 2 boxes. You're on your way to being a problem.
You're on your way. Now, what do we get from a Marion Hampton?
Exactly.
Probably more Najee Harris this week as Hampton. There's not a lot of nuance to his game. You know what I mean? It's like see hole, go through hole, run ball. Like, okay, yeah, but watch Najee Harris. Najee Harris is at least somewhat of the guy that doesn't waste a lot of motion. He doesn't excite you as a runner, but he also doesn't waste motion, and he doesn't spend time like dancing or really even thinking. He just attacks. So maybe Hampton will learn from Harris as they use a tandem. And maybe while Hampton gets better, as the season goes on, they'll start to rely on him a little bit more.
Okay.
That's their first-round pick. They're not going away from him. But in week 1, he was not impressive, and we'll see if that changes. It's one game. Nobody's writing him off. And we'll see what he does in the future.
The Raiders, they got a win in week 1 as well by a touchdown, 20-13 over the Patriots, and that's in Foxborough. And Geno Smith, I'm not a big believer in Geno Smith. I just think he's a kind of quarterback. But he threw for over 360 yards on a defense led by Mike Vrabel. We know that's what he's there to improve, and they get a week 1 win. We know what Brock Bowers brings to the team. We think we know what Ashton Genty's going to bring to that football team. And if Geno Smith can be better than the way I think he is, they might be a little ahead of the curve as well. Now, I still need to see a bunch from the Raiders, but with Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty, if Geno Smith just simply doesn't screw things up more than he helps, I think the Raiders might be a little bit better than I anticipated too.
Well, Geno Smith played with a hamstring injury last week. That went underreported. Maybe the Raiders get in trouble for not putting it on there. But and by the way, Brock Bowers has a knee injury. Do you believe when players say they're okay?
No.
He says he's okay.
The players need to be protected from themselves. They want to play.
Yeah, now Pete Carroll is saying day to day. Now it's not week to week. Week to week would be more like, oh, that's kind of serious, right? They're saying day to day with Brock Bowers, but having the league's best tight end banged up, second best. Trey McBride's the best. Having the league's second best tight end banged up in one game, that's not great, Bob. So we'll see. Geno with the hamstring, they're not worried about Genty. Genty had a bad day. He had one good run, stiff arm, but really, very, very pedestrian in week 1. Again, week 1, not getting over our skis here, but it comes down to Bowers' health. And then is Geno really for real? Does Genty help him out to be for real? We'll see.
By the way, you mentioned it, Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl rematch. It's a double-dip Monday night week this week, and it's Chargers-Raiders on the back end of that game kicking off at 8 o'clock. So we'll get to do some AFC West studying on Monday night after the Broncos beat the Colts.
Yeah,
Feel
there
good
you go.
about that.
It's a way to look at it.
Cease, a couple of quick questions here. Ravens or Packers, D? Obviously, the Packers are going tonight.
Yeah, Packers going tonight. I don't necessarily like that, especially the matchup against the Commanders. Kev's going to wear a cheese head tonight.
Hell yeah,
so
Kev.
you're going to go Ravens because they play the Browns.
We have a question here from Chris up in Greeley. What up, Chris?
What up, Chris?
Who do you go with for QB, Love or Baker?
Love or Baker, the baby maker. Do you get deducted for interceptions? That's what
Baker's going to throw some?
Baker might throw some up there. Now, full disclosure, back-to-back in my rankings this week. Baker in front of Love. Projections-wise, it is 0.27 difference. So that is a literal coin flip call. But I've got Baker slightly above Love.
Levi on the Western Slope says, send help! PPR, League Flex Play, Devontae Smith, Tyler Warren, or Bill JCM.
Yeah, you had me at Devontae Smith.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You like that guy?
Yeah, attacking KC. Like, go for it. Go for it with a Slim Reaper. So, yeah, if a flex play, it's just one, give me Devontae Smith.
Our boy Oregon Trey, who we like to have some fun with. Now, Oregon Trey says, Oregon legend Justin Herbert, QBU. And then, see, this is a good move on Oregon Trey because I wanted to rip on him and ask him how many big games they won with Justin Herbert there. But then he writes, thanks for doing what you guys do the last couple of days, Oregon Trey. So
appreciate you, Trey.
I'll kind of rip on you, Trey. We appreciate you, too. It's always fun when Trey texts in. I like it. I like it a lot.
He pushes back.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that. All right, we can sneak in a couple more fantasy questions as the show rolls on, so continue to send those in. 2 ways to do it, 303-713-1043 on the RamosLaw.com text line or over on YouTube, Denver Sports YouTube. That's all you got to search is Denver Sports, and you can watch and comment right there. Mike Kliss told us about the JFM injury and what else needs to be done to get this team ready for the Colts game. We'll get into that next.
After grinding out a win against the Titans, will Sean Payton get his offense back on track? Will Vance Joseph slow down a surprisingly hot start from Daniel Jones? We'll break it all down on the Fan Football pregame show. Live on game day starting at noon. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Whether it's kickoff, halftime, or the final drive, Fuel your football season at Dickey's Barbecue Pits. Order the 2 Can Dine for $29.99 deal. 2 meat plates stacked with pit smoke flavor. Or go for the new Triple Play Combo. A classic sandwich, savory side, and a big yellow cup for just $12.99. No matter who you're rooting for, great barbecue is always a win. Dickey's Barbecue Pit, legit. Texas barbecue.
Donnie here with Fitness Gallery, where we believe there's nothing more important than your health. I'm thrilled to invite you to our biggest event of the season, the summer clearance sale happening right now at all 7 of our Colorado locations. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment.
Hi, I'm Terrell Davis, 2-time world champion and Pro Football Hall of Famer. That's why I made the smart move to invest in fitness equipment with Fitness Gallery. It's a game changer.
Our summer clearance sale won't last long. These deals end soon.
There's a photo my wife took of me, sitting crisscross on the floor playing Legos with my boys. Might not sound like much, but back in 2020, I couldn't get down there without pain, let alone enjoy it. After 16 weeks on soda and 82 pounds gone, that picture means everything. It's proof that I'm not just present in my kid's life, but I'm active, engaged, and I'm healthy. Soda didn't just give me a plan. It gave me a partner, a personal nutritionist who helped me every step. Through grocery store trips, family vacations, late night cravings, you name it. If you're a parent who wants to be there, not just someday, but right now, go to sodaweightloss.com. Click the Request a Nutritionist callback. That's sodaweightloss.com. SOTA stands for state of the art. sodaweightloss.com.
Soda is, say it with me, state of the art.
What's the biggest mistake you can make when selling your home? Settling for less money. That never happens with Orchard. Disappointing offers can wear you down, causing you to settle for thousands less. You don't have to settle when you sell with Orchard. Orchard reinvented the real estate industry by guaranteeing your home sale and helping you sell on the market for top dollar. First, Orchard gives you cash up front so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then once you're all settled in, your Orchard agent helps sell your home on market for top dollar. Here's what one Orchard customer said. I never could have sold without Orchard. I made way more than I expected, and it couldn't have been easier. With Orchard, you never have to settle for less. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Curious how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
Haven't filed your taxes in 3 years or more? You're not alone, and you're not out of options. Join Todd from Advanced Tax Solutions for a free online workshop on Thursday, September 11th at 5:30 p.m. where he will answer the tough questions like, can you still get a refund if you file late? What if the IRS filed returns for you and you didn't even know? How far back do you really need to file? What happens if you've moved and missed critical IRS notices? And what does the IRS do to tax protesters? Even, could I possibly be going to jail? Todd will walk you through how to get back into the system, understand where you stand, and how much trouble, if any, you're actually in. Don't wait for a wage garnishment or bank levy to find out. Reserve your free spot by calling today, 303-753-6040. Once again, 303-753-6040, Advanced Tax Solutions.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3, The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3, The Fan presents Dover and Cecil.
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. 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 Can I kick it?
All right, we should get some information here within the next couple of hours, 3 hours or so, for the Broncos and John Franklin Myers' status after popping up on the injury report on Wednesday. Didn't think that was something we would talk about here today. Really was looking at the injury report for the statuses of one Dre Greenlaw and Evan Ingram. But JFM was up there. We got a chance to talk to Mike Kliss a little earlier in the show before Broncos practice started, and they took his cell phone away. And one of those questions we asked is, hey, what's up with this JFM injury?
sometimes with those veteran players, maybe the knee swells up a little bit, gets a little sore. I don't think it's anything major, but, the question will be, will he practice on a limited basis today, which is kind of necessary to playing on Sunday. So that'll be something we'll be looking for.
So if we get the limited update today, then you go, okay, well, that'll likely lead to a questionable game status for tomorrow. See, if we're looking at DNPs in consecutive days for Dre Greenlaw and John Franklin Myers,
yeah,
how big of a concern is that? How worried should Broncos country be?
I think that's something that is a big concern. I'm not going to say worried necessarily for a couple of reasons. One, we've seen this team win games without Dre Greenlaw. We've seen this team win games with Justin Strnad. Strnad is one of those players that had a game in week 1 that we don't really talk about. He was not a liability at all whatsoever defensively. I thought Justin Strnad had a really rock-solid game. It's like Riley Moss. It's like, why don't we talk about Riley Moss more? Moss was targeted 8 times, only gave up 3 catches for 21 yards. Justin Strnad was he's not Dre Greenlaw, okay?
Of course.
But he was plenty good out there for this team. Now, John Franklin Myers, much different story. However, Savion Jones is there, and that rookie has a ton of skill. Of all the rookies in this class, even Jahdae Barron, the rookie I'm excited most about, it's Savion Jones. So maybe I'm totally wrong, and he's whatever, and I'm an LSU homer or something. I don't know. But Jones Jones has amazing ability as a run stuffer and as an interior pass rusher, just like JFM. In fact, if you were to do a pro comparison on Savion Jones, it'd probably be John Franklin Myers. Now, Myers has the skins on the wall. He's got the experience. Savion Jones didn't even get a jersey last week because of Jordan Jackson and how well he's playing, because of Owazurike and how well he's been playing. So is this the week where JFM's down and Savion Jones gets a jersey? Yeah, maybe. And I'm interested in that. It's against a superstar running back in Jonathan Taylor, which presents problems, lots of problems.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm anxious and curious to see how Savion Jones performs as a rookie.
See, I would love to get a little sample size of what that looks like. But, man,
You want a little sample?
A little sample. A little sample of Savion.
Taste?
A little Savion sample. But I'm nervous about the JFM thing. You're right. I agree 100% with you about the inside linebacker spot. Dre Greenlaw. I've watched the Broncos operate without a real inside linebacker since Danny Trevathan took his talents to Chicago. And they've been fine. The defense has held their own for the majority of those 10 years without a real inside linebacker's presence. But with John Franklin Myers, I mean, man, not only, I talked about it earlier, the 28 pressures that you're getting in the backfield, he's got a part to do with that. He's not the big sack guy, but what he does in commanding double teams and chips and the things they have to do allows for other guys to get off the way that they get off. I want John Franklin Myers to play in this game. I'm not saying that you don't, but I do think it's a big deal if John Franklin Myers doesn't play in this football game. The Broncos' offense was picked up by the defense, by guys like John Franklin Myers. If the defense did not perform the way they did, I don't know that the Broncos beat Tennessee. And the Colts are better than the Tennessee Titans. I don't believe that they're better than the Broncos, but they are better than the Tennessee Titans. So if the defense slips just a bit by JFM not being there, that means the offense has to have more responsibility on its plate, and I'm not quite sure they're ready for that.
Do you believe that the offense wins this game this week or the defense wins this game this week?
I believe that it's the defense.
So let's say Daniel Jones gets you. Jonathan Taylor gets you. You do not believe the offense can go toe-to-toe with the Colts offense?
I don't. Wow. I don't. Do you? Why would you?
The talent's better. No offense to Donnie Mitchell or Alec Pierce.
We said that last week.
Okay. We did say that last week. Damn it. We say a lot. I just have full faith in guys like Troy Franklin and Marvin Mims.
Well, see, and that's where I would agree with you on the personnel. Mm-hmm. I believe in Bo Nix.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with this. I got to see it from Sean.
Wow.
That's why I don't believe.
You don't believe?
Not right now.
Okay. Well, Sean Payton's got a lot to prove.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot to correct this week. And he's got a team that's not going to go away. My whole thing with the Colts is that they're annoying. Set the flow is annoying, and that's probably the most I can say without getting in trouble, getting called in the office again for set the flow. You guys got me in trouble for set the flow. Thanks.
That was our bad. Sorry
Thanks.
about that.
Yeah, I'm bitter for that forever. But the Colts are annoying. And you know what annoying is? It means they won't go away. They're just going to be there, and they're going to hang around. And what do you do? Like, got that little gnat, little bee buzzing around. Not a bee. Bees are very important. But like a little gnat, little cockroach, whatever.
Yeah.
Stomp it out.
Mm-hmm.
Stomp it out. That's what you have to do. You have to take care of business so much so that they become one-dimensional. You want them essentially to abandon the ground game, which means your offense needs to get a lead so that Jonathan Taylor has to be used more as a receiver than as a runner, because as a runner, he's very dangerous. And I'd like to see the test. I'd like to see the Broncos pass the test of their run defense. Tony Pollard's not a test, okay?
No.
And Cam Ward had some ability as a runner. He didn't show it last week. So, you're really going to be tested. And then looking at the schedule, Hampton and Harris in week 3, Chase Brown, a little bit of Taj Brooks in week 4, week 5, Saquon.
Yeah.
So you wanted a sample? You don't stop at all those at Costco, do you?
Oh, hell yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Dude.
And you put your cart in the way and then you're like, hey, Kelsey, come and try this.
No, I'm like a drive-by grabber because I don't want to talk to the person that's trying to sell me. So
You don't actually want to buy what the sample is?
No way.
You just want to eat.
Unless I will say we found this like chocolate milk protein that we bought based off of a sample.
Yeah.
But that's Kelsey. Like Kelsey wants to talk to them anyway. So I'll just be the drive-by sampler, and then I'll let her do all the talking. Well, I'll go up and like check Twitter. While
And then
I'm
you'd be like,
juice.
are you we gonna buy it or what?
Yeah, actually, those sugar-free sodas that I'm drinking this week.
Yeah.
Sample got Kelsey. That's why we have them.
Okay.
You don't stop at all of them, dude. It's free food. You know how much money I spend at Costco? They owe me free food.
I try to get in and out of Costco as fast as possible.
Well, it's impossible.
It's definitely impossible.
Yeah.
But stopping at the damn sample stations, I know what I want. I kind of eat the same thing every day.
Hot tamales.
Hot tamales at night. Gotta stay away from the candy. But like I'm sorry. It's new and exciting. Yeah. Can I have my bacon and eggs, please? Can I have my spinach? I'm there. I'm there to get what I get, and then
We just went to Costco Saturday. They have like these little mini cinnies. That's what they call them, little mini
What?
cinnies, mini cinnamon rolls.
Oh, yeah.
And I took one just to drive by, grab, eat them, and I'm like, that is delicious. Took my hat off, went back through.
Now, I watch a guy called The Deal Guy on YouTube. Shout out YouTube.
What up, YouTube?
And he goes through like the top 10 things you should buy at Costco, and he does all that. So I don't need the sample.
Oh, really?
I just watch 10 minutes on YouTube, and then I'm like, oh, I'm not going to get any of that. Or maybe I should get that.
Does the stuff change at Costco that they sell?
Yeah. And do you know the codes about the pricing?
No.
Of like when it's going to go away? There's a certain number. If it ends in like 59 instead of 99,
What?
you know it's going to go away.
I'm new to the Costco game. My lady got me a card. I was
Really?
out of
New
that.
to the game?
Yeah.
Wow. I've been an executive member for,
Really?
probably 20 years.
Damn.
It's because I'm old.
Well, and we also kind of get ripped off. Her brother works at Costco.
Oh.
And so we're like on the plan, but I think he gets like all of our points and stuff like that.
Oh, dang.
Which is kind of bogus.
Okay.
But what am I going to say? I got in the club because of him. What's up, Jake? Thanks, bro.
Yeah. Don't be that guy, the card at the Costco at the door.
I can't believe you don't just... Dude, you spend so much money at Costco. Take their free stuff.
No. I want to go and leave. I don't want to be there long. In fact, online, Costco.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Oh, yeah.
Drew actually turned me on to like pickup groceries. That's pretty cool, too.
You need 5 gallons of mayonnaise. Get it delivered, girl.
Delivered to your house right there at Costco. All right, well, we agree to disagree on that one. I'm taking my time through Costco. I might go through 4 or 5 times to get a free sample. It's worth it. Juice is worth the squeeze. All right, I actually want to continue hearing a couple things from Mike here on Ingram's injury and what Bo has to do to bounce back. We'll do that next.
Will J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey be featured more on offense? Will the Broncos defense carry the team to another victory? We'll react to it all in the Fan Football Postgame Show. Live on game day starting at the 2-minute warning. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
The cost of everything is still out of control, and many of us are relying on credit cards to cover essentials. If that debt is piling up, you're not alone. Americans collectively owe over $1 trillion in credit card debt. You might have considered reaching out to my friends at American Financing, but hesitated because you don't want to give up your low mortgage rate. Well, there's good news. They've created a smart equity loan, a solution designed to help you take control of your finances without touching your current mortgage. Unlike a HELOC, which can have varied interest rates, the Smart Equity Loan offers a fixed rate. That means one predictable monthly payment giving you peace of mind. This loan allows you to leverage the equity in your home to pay off high interest debt, free up your cash flow, and keep your existing low mortgage rate intact. It only takes 10 minutes to get started with no upfront or hidden fees. Call American Financing today and start saving now at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whether you're into local craft brews, adventurous cocktails, or ice-cold 29-degree drafts, they've got your drink. Pair it with scratch-made favorites from their special menu. And you've got the perfect way to wind down or turn up. Whatever your vibe, Twin Peaks is your go-to for the best happy hour in the league. See you tonight at Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
What's going on, everybody? Philip Lindsay here. And last year, I went a little rogue and dropped a discount code from our friends at Hermes Worldwide. And you guys used it so much, they almost got mad at me. Well, I'm feeling a little spicy again this season, so I'm bringing it back, baby. You can get 30% off your ride to the game with Hermes Worldwide for your entire season. All you have to do is mention the code PL30. Again, mention PL30 when you book your luxury transportation to Empower Field. And contact Hermes Worldwide at 303-577-7600 or visit ridehermes.com/DenverSports. Go Broncos!
Advent Health is Littleton's home for highly specialized, life-changing heart care. From preventive screenings to personalized treatment options, it's heartfelt care from expert hands. The Advent Health Heart and Vascular Institute is now open, ready to provide wholehearted care for your whole health.
Hey, it's Mike Evans. Let's talk about your hair. If you're losing it and desire it back, then do what I did and go see Dr. Tanya Pauls at Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can personally attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but close to it. They put hair where you need it the most, and bam, it grows. It's actually science. Advanced Hair has it all. Top-rated Dr. Tanya Pauls, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins regrowing the very next day. Advanced Hair even guarantees it to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation today. Call 720-459-HAIR and you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. That's 720-459-HAIR. Advanced Hair is the winner of Westward's Best of Denver, and they've changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. Become inspired with the before and afters at advancedhair.com. That's advancedhair.com.
Don't let an accident ruin your summer. If you've been injured, Postman Law is here to help with clarity and compassion. Call 844-POSTMAN to get started fighting your case. That's 844-POSTMAN. With over $3 billion recovered for their clients, the Postman Law team fights relentlessly to make your legal journey as stress-free as possible. You deserve to enjoy your summer. If you've been injured, call Postman Law at 844-POSTMAN today.
Catch Telestrator Tuesday weekly on Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, where Stink or Stoke dive into the past weekend's games with a coach's eye, using insights into what went right and wrong on critical plays. Telestrator Tuesdays, powered by Colorado Credit Union. Love where you live, love where you bank.
Joel Klatt, the nation's leading voice in college football, joins Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth every Wednesday morning. Presented by Groove Toyota. Here we go. Tune in at 8:10 for exclusive insight, bold analysis, and maybe just a hint of shenanigans. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents Dover and Cecil.
Oh, dude. That's going to hit a little different, huh?
Best opening song to an album ever?
Probably.
That or Welcome to the Jungle.
Hit 'em Up was pretty good, too. I kind of like the first few lines
Opening
there.
an album.
Oh, yeah.
This song, when you put this song on, you know
that's what you hear.
I'm listening to All Eyes on Me, disc 1.
That's good. That's good. Perfect little intro. For our next guest, we usually get him on Fridays to preview the game that's going down, but got to move things around till Thursday, so thankful that the king, yes, of DenverSports.com, Trent Finnegan. He's joining us on a Thursday to preview the Buffaloes game. Buffaloes and Cougars going down tomorrow in Houston on ESPN, and it's a 5:30 kickoff. So Trent joining the show. All right, Trent, we know, well, Dion won't confirm, but we all know that it's going to be Staub out there as QB1. So I've asked you for 3 straight weeks. If it's Staub at QB1 and it's a tougher opponent, does that mean no Julian?
I think it means no Julian. You know, he's just super young, and I think that showed in the Delaware game last week. And something else that showed is that Staub is really comfortable with Pat Shurmur and the offense, and Salter doesn't have that comfort as well. So I think that Staub is the safest choice for tomorrow night's game, and that probably means you're not going to get any Julian Lewis. And I don't know if it means you're going to get any Salter as well, maybe a goal line package here or there, but I think if they want to win this game, it's got to be Staub running the show for the whole night.
Yeah, tough matchup, and I watched your post-game video. They're fantastic, King. The Delaware game, they stuffed the run. Like, it was total emphasis, different from Jotech. This week, the Cougars bring a similar, skill set. Like, they're going to run the hell out of the ball. Dean Connor's their number one running back there. Do you believe we can learn anything from that Delaware game? Essentially asking, have the Buffs fixed their run defense?
I don't know how much you can take from that Delaware game. So that matchup, it allowed defensive coordinator Rob Livingston to run a lot of cover one, which is what the Buffs did last year. Just let the corners do their thing on an island and let the defense, the front seven, kind of stop the run. Houston has more talented receivers than Delaware did, and even Delaware's receivers made a couple of plays, even though the game was out of hand last week. So I think it's going to start with the corners. If they can't hold their own, CU's not going to be able to run cover one, then they're going to have to pull some guys out of the box to maybe pay more attention to those receivers. Then that might open up running lanes for Houston. So I don't think they can really take a whole lot from Delaware just because they were so much more talented than that opponent was.
Trent, actually staying with wide receivers, I'm going to go on the other side of that with the Buffaloes. So if it's going to be Staub, and you just said it, and we agree that he's the better fit for the Shurmur offense, that's got to be a big advantage for these wide receivers. On the outside, who do you think benefits the most from Ryan Staub being QB1?
I think it's Sincere Brown, and it showed last week. I mean, you saw them. They kept communicating pre-snap. They were changing their routes. Sincere Brown wasn't doing that with Lewis. He wasn't doing that with Salter. But as soon as Staub comes in, they're talking to each other. They're hot rounding before the play, and it wound up in a 71-yard touchdown up the sideline and then another 36-yard deep ball. So those two really seem like they've clicked already, even though Brown hasn't been in town for that long. So I think he's going to be the big beneficiary from Staub.
We saw more of DeKalen Taylor against Delaware. Please tell me that continues.
I'm with you. He is so good. He's so shifty. He makes so many people miss, and they gave him a ball a little bit, but they need to give more, especially in the red zone. If you can get him mismatched on a linebacker in the red zone, I mean, that's advantage Buffs all day long. So, and he also had that big 23-yard run that sparked Staub's first drive in that 2-minute drill. So every time he's been on the field, he's shown that he has the ability to make plays and make people miss. And I don't know what it's going to take for CU to get him on the field more, but it's clear that he's one of their most dynamic guys in the whole offense.
Talking to Trent Finnegan of DenverSports.com. Trent, I know you guys Cecil was just asking about Robert Livingston and his defense. We went over some numbers this week that actually made me feel a little bit better as to what this defense has been and some of the second half adjustments that he can make. If the Cougars are having major run success on the Buffaloes, averaging 197 yards a game, what adjustments can be made to slow down the Cougars' rushing attack if they're having success?
I think you just got to load the box, but the problem with that is CU's latest injury report that they dropped last night has Jaheim Jaheim Otis, that D tackle
Love him.
from Alabama, the transfer, he's listed as doubtful now. So if you're getting gassed up in the run, you're already thin on the interior D line, and you still are rotating linebackers between Jeremiah Brown, Martavius French, Reggie Hughes. So I really think that if they put 7, they put 8 in the box, and they still can't stop the run, it might be a long evening for the Buffs tomorrow night.
How key are turnovers for this team? And I know based on last year, and it's not like apologies to Rice or Stephen F. Austin, but Houston last year, when they had more than one turnover, they lost every game. When they had only one turnover, I believe they were 4-0. So how key is that? How can the Buffaloes, with these defensive injuries, kind of make sure they're getting turnovers and putting a fly in the ointment, so to speak, for Houston?
I think that's the key to the game, and it should have been the key to the game in Week 1 against against Georgia Tech, and they didn't capitalize on it.
Yep.
And going back to last year as well, they were awesome at forcing turnovers. They were punching balls out for fumbles. They were picking quarterbacks off for interceptions, and that's why the defense was so dominant last year. You haven't really been seeing that same kind of ball-hawking defense, those guys rallying to the football on run plays and trying to strip the ball. I know Ben Finiseth had the great play last week against Delaware, but that was just one instance. We haven't seen as much of that kind of rally tackling that we saw in 2024, and they're really going to need that. I mean, you're an underdog on the road on a short week. You've got to win the turnover battle to give yourself a better chance at winning this game.
Trent, does Ryan Staub have to win this game, win with style points, pass the eye test to keep the QB1 job? Or, if all of those 3 boxes don't get checked, are we right back in the same musical chair conversation we were this week, next week?
I think a win is a win. I don't think he needs style points. I think he just needs to win. I mean, we're too late in the season. If he loses, they might go and readjust it. But we're too late in the season where if you have a quarterback who wins a conference game and he plays fine, there's no reason to go away from him. And Dion was asked the other day about a solidified quarterback, and he questioned what a solidified quarterback means.
Such a stupid answer.
Discussion for another time. 90% of the country has a solidified quarterback.
Thank you, Trent. Thank you.
But if Staub plays well and he wins a conference game on the road, that's your answer. That's your solidified quarterback. He knows the offense. He's going to lead this team to victory. So if he wins, I just don't see any way that you can go away from him going forward.
All right, Trent, you are the king. We have crowned you as such. We serve you. We appreciate your time here. But I do got to ask, because you give your time to a couple old heads here. You're a young cat. We just came in with Tupac, Ambition as a Writer from All Eyes on Me, Disc 1. When I say Disc 1, do you go, what's a CD? Do you know how to operate a CD player? Because you're like 21.
I do, because so my dad would always keep a CD in his truck when we would go through a tunnel or something. We wouldn't have service on the radio. So he had an old Bob Marley CD that we would always play growing up in the car. So I know a little bit. I use my Apple Music and a lot of digital stuff here. But if I need to get a CD out, I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
Bob Marley. I didn't know Trent. I didn't know the king got down that way.
Sounds like Papa Finnegan's a pretty cool guy. Pretty chill fella.
Fit right in with us.
Well, Trent, great stuff, man. Thank you for being flexible. Safe travels. Know you're getting out of town to enjoy some time away. So safe travels, man, and we'll certainly be picking your brain again next week.
Of course, appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next week.
There he is, Trent Finnegan, the king of DenverSports.com, at Trent Finnegan on socials. Make sure you're following him and reading him there at DenverSports.com. He said something there, Cease. I do want to get back to some stuff Cliff told us, but he said something about Caden Salter and a specific way to use Caden Salter moving forward. Do we agree? We'll tell you what it was and answer that next.
Denver is headed east to take on Indianapolis. Kick your football Sunday off in style with Denver Game Day, powered by Common Spirit Health, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos. Live on Game Day starting at 10 a.m. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Xfinity, and the other day I'm over at a friend's place. He's pumped to watch football, but his setup, total mess.
lagging, buffering, switching between apps, trying to find a game. He claimed to be a big fan, but I feel like I was being fan-fished. See, if you call yourself a football fan, you gotta have Xfinity. It's the ultimate sports destination. I can find the best games and my favorite teams all in one place. And the way I watch, well, it's next level. It's the perfect fan flex. I've got all the action right in my living room, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K, so clear it feels like I'm in the stadium. Sometimes I've got 4 games going on at once. Why? Because why not? On top of that, I get real-time notifications, live stats right on my TV. It's the best seat in the house every single time. Next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K cable TV box.
At 303 Law 4040, we know getting into an accident stinks, and so does getting worked over by the insurance company or even your slick-talking made-for-TV lawyer. So if we can help, just give us a call. 303 Law 4040. Save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. That's 303 Law 4040.
Donnie here with Fitness Gallery. I'm thrilled to invite you to our biggest event of the season, the summer clearance sale happening right now at all 7 of our Colorado locations. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. These deals end soon.
Introducing Mine to Shine, the world's most personal diamond. Here's Shayna and Dylan Williams.
Come experience the most revolutionary and transparent way to buy a diamond.
Mine to Shine by Kwiat and Williams Jewelers. The natural diamonds cut, polished, and designed just for you.
First, we'll help you select a natural, conflict-free, and ethically mined diamond.
Then you select one of Kwiat's legendary shapes. Kwiat Cushion, Oval, Radiant, Emerald, or Incredible Ashoka.
A wider, brighter, and larger looking diamond, cut to the world's highest standards.
Then trace the journey from rough stone to polished perfection by Kwiat's master cutters.
Perfectly cut for maximum brilliance. Simply brilliant.
Mine to Shine, the world's most personal diamond.
Only from Williams Jewelers of Inglewood, Colorado's exclusive Kwiat jeweler.
Where Colorado shines.
Williams Jewelers, we can make diamonds a part of your life.
The official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche. Williams Jewelers, where Colorado shines.
It's next man up in Boulder as Coach Prime and the new look Buffs return to action at Folsom Field. Tickets are on sale now, so get loud and cheer on CU as the Buffs battle for a Big 12 title. Tickets are still available for the Buffaloes' home matchups against BYU, Iowa State, Arizona State, and more. Lock in your seats by visiting cubuffs.com/tickets or by calling 303-492-8282. Join the action of another exciting season at Folsom Field with your Colorado Buffaloes.
Do you want the lowest rate for life? Get our 4.75 5-year fixed. APR is 5.89.
Did you say 4.75% fixed for 5 years?
Yes.
Yeah, I want that, but what if rates fall?
Our lowest rate for life program takes over. If rates fall even as little as 0.5%, we can redo your loan with no lender fees and no appraisal fee and no limits to the number of times used. Only at U.S. Mortgages. Call 303-LOW-RATE or online at usmloan.com.
All loans subject to approval and change. See website for complete details. License number 392126.
Hey guys, boy Steve here today about my long-term buddy Troy Hansford. And if you're thinking about selling your house for any reason, now might be the time to sell, still get top dollar. Believe it or not, my guy Troy is still offering his $5,000 guarantee. What is it, you ask? Well, if you can't sell your house at your price on your timeline that you agree upon beforehand, bam, going to cut you a check for $5,000. Who else makes the offer? Nobody I've ever heard of. And he makes that offer because he continues to spend a ton of money marketing his listings, has about 100 families approved and ready to buy right now. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy can buy your house, all cash, and he can close in as little as 7 days. You have a house to sell, Troy probably has that perfect buyer for you right now, waiting for you to pick up the phone and to call him. Call Troy, get your home sold for the most money. That's 720-900-4433, 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford of RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions do apply. Want to sell your house? Then call my buddy Troy, 720-900-4433.
Your roof's the single most important part of your house. Snow and high winds can damage your roof. Don't trust your roof to any fly-by-night roofing companies. Call the professionals at Golden Spike for a free roof inspection and tell them you heard about it on The Fan. They're a locally owned company and a Team Dave Logan member.
Call Golden Spike Roofing when your roof needs a fix. 303-942-1386. Golden Spike Roofing.
Denver, that hot summer hit your AC hard. Get your end of summer deep clean for $39. FixMyHome.com, hometown partner of the Denver Broncos.
You're listening to Dover and Cecil on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Good stuff, good conversation there with our Buffs insider, the king of DenverSports.com, Trent Finnegan, and he said something that really stood out to me. I love always talking with Trent and love that he's gracious with his time to tell us about his schedule and jump on a Thursday as opposed to a Friday. But I asked him about the quarterback play and will the musical chairs be over? That's something you and I can talk about either later or tomorrow on the show. But asked if anybody else would play. I was hinting at Julian because I kind of assumed like, hey, it's over for Caden Salter. You called that after week 1. And then he got one extra drive.
Right.
And then kind of some really garbage time opportunities after that. So I kind of thought the Caden Salter experiment was over. It's Ryan Staub's job, and then there's packages of Julian and moments of Julian if they're ever in a position of blowing out a team, or hopefully not, but being blown out
in
by
a game
team.
like against Wyoming.
Against Wyoming next week. That's
Although
right.
2-0 Wyoming.
Yeah.
Test this week against Utah, so that'll be the real test.
We'll figure out what they actually are.
Right.
But Trent said something interesting. Caden Salter possibly in goal line settings and situations there. I thought that was pretty interesting too. Obviously, Cecil, it brings in the dynamic that he has, which is a runner at the quarterback position, something he's gone away from and tried to be more of a pocket passer, which helped more than it hurt. But I'm actually a little intrigued by that. Now, I think Ryan Staub's, they're college kids too. There's still a little bit of athleticism and speed involved there, just not to the level of Caden. I don't know that playing more quarterbacks is good for the Buffaloes, but I'm actually a little bit interested in that Caden Salter goal line package to see what it would look like. You know what I really want to know? Can Pat Shurmur actually handle that? Can Pat be creative enough to go, here's my offense that I'm just going to roll out again with Ryan Staub, but let me get a little creative and see what I can do with Caden.
And I think that's great news for Salter. In fact, they use him that way because then he gets on the field. Guys want to play. You know, whether you transfer, whether you walk on, no matter what, like you want to play. You play college football. You want to get out there when it matters. And if you're in the red zone, that's when it matters the most. Mm-hmm. So if you're a guy like Caden Salter, who is talented as a runner, and if you design an offense that's designed around his rushing ability, you can do some things offensively. They were unable or unwilling to do that. Pat Shurmur specifically did not want to run or change to a Caden Salter offense. However, if it is in a red zone package, some sort of goal line package, and you utilize his strength and his rushing ability, and then maybe throw in a quick, RPO quick pass type thing, now we're talking. And I think that's best for the Buffaloes, if in fact that's what they choose to do. But I want to see Staub. I want to have Ryan Staub get those opportunities because as a passer, and he can pull down and scoot a little bit if he needs to. So I want to see him first have those opportunities, and then maybe a couple of packages in a game where, we'll pick the points tomorrow, but what are you scoring? 28 points?
Against Houston?
24 points? Whatever that number is, you're not going to have multiple opportunities, like the zillion opportunities for Caden Salter package.
Well, even
couple times.
Going back to the Julian thing of if he gets in or not. I don't, unless, you know what I mean? Like, I haven't seen enough from Julian Lewis to just put him in the game for the sake of putting him in the game. If this thing's tight, and I think it's going to be tight on Friday night with the Houston game, you don't do it just for the sake of doing it. And I don't think he's honestly earned the opportunity to just go in there and get the reps. If it's a tight game, I need Ryan Staub as your quarterback one, and I don't need anybody else. If you're going to change it and do this Caden Salter goal line setting, all right, 1 or 2 plays, I can appreciate that. But Julian Lewis, this is going to be a tough outing here. You're going on the road. It's your first Big 12 opponent, a team that's averaging 197 yards on the ground a game and can score like you're talking about. I don't need to see Julian Lewis just to see Julian Lewis. I want the Buffs to win and then Julian to be developed. That's my pecking order.
Yeah, and there will be, if things don't go the way this season, which, oh God, then my 8-game prediction will be wrong. There will be a tipping point where that changes. Because right now, in their third game, the game is all about the Buffaloes. What can you do this year? can you get to a bowl game this year? But if there's a chance later on in the year where, well, they're out of bowl contention, they're not going anywhere, then guess what? Now it becomes about Julian. Now it becomes about Juju. We want to see how Staub plays. They can win 8 games with Ryan Staub as their quarterback because he can do everything. And again, the quick decisions. His best asset is you're not really going to fool him defensively. So throw what you can at him. Let Ryan Staub carve you up. And that's great news for the Buffaloes. So if that's, in fact, the case and what he does, I want the Salter package just to have that option, but I don't think that's a must if Staub plays the way that he can.
Dude, I think if we saw a Salter package, I'm not even trying to be funny or make a joke about Pat Shurmur here. I would be so happy that Pat Shurmur has the ability to draw something up new in a 4-day span. It would, if it were successful, it would make me feel a little bit differently about Pat Shurmur. But, I mean, you're going to hold your breath on Pat Shurmur getting creative over the last 4 days and coming up with a Caden Salter package? He didn't even come up with the Julian package.
Right.
It's the same offense. You're just having him run it rather than, I guess at the time, Caden, and then Ryan obviously getting his opportunities there.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't have a lot of faith. You have questions about Sean Payton and his ability to stick with the run.
Mm-hmm.
I have questions about Pat Shurmur just understanding what offensive football is supposed to be. So there you go.
Drawing up a game plan, changing something on the fly,
You know.
making in-game adjustments, that sort of stuff.
Right, like balanced offense, nonsensical play calling. That's pretty much what he does. And by the way, he does all the same stuff. It's very basic and it's very repetitive. Like he's that guy you play in Madden where you beat because he runs like 3 plays.
Pat Shurmur's run that playbook since he was with the Giants. He brought it to Denver, and now it's with him up in Boulder. You cannot teach that old dog new tricks.
No,
when
not
it
at all.
comes to one Pat Shurmur. It's not a must-win, but your first Big 12 matchup opponent, they're 2-0. There's some conversation happening down in Houston. Do you worry more if they lose this game?
It's a fulcrum moment. I'm not going to say must win. It kind of surprised me when you said that because I don't.
No, I was saying it's not.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't look at it either as a must win, but it definitely is a fulcrum game where things can kind of tip one way or things can tip the other way based on how you perform. Now, in a win, you want Ryan Staub to look good, but at the end of the day, you're just going to win. Let's move on. We're moving on to Wyoming. But if you lose and Staub looks good, I think that's something to build off there as well. So I can't say, this is the game that defines their season. We just get more data points, which is what we need when they make a switch at quarterback.
I think there's things that we can take away because it is a Big 12 opponent. We're all still figuring out what the Big 12 is in the college landscape. I think it's going to be a nice little test for these Colorado Buffaloes. And on the road, and that kryptonite that is your rush defense, this is a big test for the Colorado Buffaloes and a big test for Ryan Staub. We'll see if this musical chair act continues. I want to remind you about the opportunity that Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is doing, giving you an opportunity to win a PS5 bundle. How about a few things getting hooked up here? You could win a PS5, Madden 26, a copy of College Football 26, and a 70-inch TV. How do you win? Well, you just download the Denver Sports app, click on the contest banner on the homepage, and you are in the running. Eligible for that PS5, Madden 26, College 26, and that 70-inch television. We want every winner to come from this program, so download it right now. Follow the instructions, and you could be on your way to winning the PS5 bundle. All right, how can Bo Nix bounce back on Sunday in Indianapolis? We'll have that conversation next.
Does Sean Payton need to make changes to his game plan after week 1?
He put his agenda and his offense and his quarterback, who he proclaimed to be trending towards being a top 4, top 5, and when that man struggles throughout the afternoon, it's almost like daddy ball. And I'm telling you, it's unacceptable and it's inexcusable.
Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Time's running out, Colorado. Castle Rock Chevy GMC has supercharged savings on your favorite EVs. With the clock's ticking, September 30th is your last chance to claim the $7,500 federal EV tax credit. They've got a massive lineup of electric powerhouses, GMC Hummer EVs, Sierra Truck EVs, and Chevy's Equinox, Blazer, and Silverado EVs, all ready to roll off the lot. Whether you're chasing adventure or cutting your carbon footprint, Castle Rock Chevy GMC has your perfect EV match. But hurry, when the tax credit ends, so do the deals. Visit Castle Rock Chevy GMC today. Castle Rock Chevrolet GMC, where Colorado drives Chevy and GMC, and where Chevy drives America.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
I just saw 2 houses for sale. Same neighborhood, almost identical, but one had an Orchard sign and it sold for way more. So I asked my friends at Orchard, why? The first house used a traditional agent. After weeks of price drops and frustration, they settled for less than they'd hoped for. The second homeowner chose Orchard and got more. Their local Orchard agent didn't just list a home, they marketed it. They knew exactly which upgrades would attract serious buyers and brought in a pro to handle everything. And even more, with Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, the homeowner moved into their new home before their old one even hit the market. They skipped all the hassles and showings. Never settle for less. Get more with Orchard. The smarter, faster, hassle-free way to buy your new home, even before your old home sells. Start with Orchard's free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
We're hiring at Don's Garage Doors. No experience? No problem. We provide full training, a brand new van, top-of-the-line tools, a gas card, and steady jobs with weekly pay. This isn't just a job, it's a career with real growth, great pay, and job security. Our team members go from training to 6 figures, and we're ready to help you do the same. Don't wait. Apply now at donsgaragedoors.com.
Stay up to date on the Broncos and the latest news from around the league with our NFL insider James Palmer, exclusively on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Mondays on The Rundown with Richie Carney, Tuesday afternoons on The Drive, and Friday mornings on Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, all season long. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. It's Dover and Cecil on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
This is a good one too, right? Is this 112 and Nelly? Who we got here, Kevin?
I don't know. I just know the
Jagged Edge.
Jagged Edge featuring Nelly.
That's what it is. Jagged
There you go.
Edge.
Jagged Edge.
Remember I told you I saw Too Short in Vegas and it was the Lovers and Friends Festival?
Mm-hmm.
Jagged Edge was there too.
Life ain't nothing but and money.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I love when he yells out, "What's my favorite word?" And I get to yell it back at him.
Oh, man, if we could do that one time on this show. What's our favorite word?
What's his favorite word?
Oh, no, nothing.
Oh, okay.
What's Kevin's favorite word? Bo Nix.
Bo Nix.
No, that's a name.
His favorite word starts with a B, too.
Broncos.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly
Broncos.
right.
Okay, that was good.
Wait a second. Good call. Good call, Kevin. Great call right there. All right, Cease, we will get into what happens tonight. We do get a little Thursday night football in our lives this evening, so we're fired up for that one. Give you a preview and talk about how we're feeling about the game. But I wanted to continue talking about these Broncos and Bo Nix. Our conversation with Mike Kliss earlier. You and I have talked about it through the couple of days this week. Bo was out of character. He was emotional. His platforms were awful that he was trying to throw off of, and he was making mistakes. The Bo we saw develop into a season ago, it just did not look the same. We asked Mike Kliss how he bounces back this week.
Yeah, I mean, he was, the turnovers in the first 2.5 quarters. Bo, it's weird. He had a weird game. He had like 4 or 5 passes where he just zipped the ball with precision into tight windows and rolling left too. He had 2 of them in a row where he was rolling left and he just fired them in there. Well, one to Troy Franklin, one to Cortland Sutton, and then another one. His feet looked like his feet got out of whack, I guess, and the ball just floated on him. Dangerously floated, and it found danger. Wound up with an interception. I do think they'll try to. His confidence sounds a little like it got a dent when you heard him talk after the game, when you heard him talk yesterday.
Right.
I think Sean Payton really has to concentrate on getting that running game early against the Colts.
And if he actually does that, there will be some confidence from Bo Nix because then there's less responsibility. Feels like Bo will have to do less. That comment that he said there about losing confidence, his confidence took a dent, is the way Mike put it.
That was a little shocking. Not really, but it's something to manage. You always have to manage a player's confidence, which I always think is funny because these guys are the ultimate alpha males.
I mean, it's like if we screw up at work, I'm down on myself a little bit.
Sure.
But I'm also not an NFL player.
Right. And not seen as like this ultimate meathead alpha male. And it's like, do you love me? That's how all of them are. Every single one of them. Bo Nix, Phil Lindsay, Brandon Stokely. Mm-hmm. Stokely especially.
Yeah.
Especially Stokely.
Stokely needs
do you
a
love
little
me? Peyton, do you love me? Peyton, are we okay? Is it good?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the wide receiver thing, right? So, sure, Bo Nix, confidence shaken. How could it not be? He did not play good football. Your confidence is going to be shaken when you don't play good football. Bo Nix knows better. Bo Nix knows that he's better. Bo Nix knows that he must be better in order for this team to reach the heights that they want to, which is Super Bowl. That is the standard. That is the expectation now. The expectation isn't just being a cute little playoff team. The expectation isn't the wild card. The expectation is to win the division, and oh my God, if Philadelphia beats Kansas City and the Chiefs start 2-0, we've got the numbers for if you're 0-2, right? So the numbers if you're 2-0, 72% chance of making the playoffs. If you're 0-2, I know that number's not good. I don't know what it is, but it's probably like 10%, 15% of making the playoffs. So win your division, play good football, and put yourself in the best position to win a championship. They're not there yet. Offensively, they have work to do. And unfortunately for them, they're running out of time because the Chargers are coming up in week 3. And don't overlook this Colts team. I do not believe they will. I do not believe those players, one, that's not in their body. It's not in their makeup, right? Their physical makeup. They're not going to overlook the Colts because they've got an important divisional game against the Chargers. That's not a narrative. That's not going to happen. I do not believe Sean Payton would allow that to happen. But they need to be much sharper on offense as fast as possible. You got 4 quarters. You got 60 minutes of football to turn this thing around. And then, what Ice Cube say? Once again, it's on, Kareem. Once again, it's on, Jim Harbaugh. So let's go Broncos. Let's get this thing done, and let's look better offensively.
See, and I'm with you that I don't believe that there was a dent in confidence. I think Bo Nix is a very confident man. He carries it the right way, so it's not like this arrogance, but it's an athletic arrogance.
Sure.
And I think every top-tier NFL quarterback, basketball player, whatever, if you're a top-tier athlete, you do have some athletic arrogance. But you know how to walk that fine line where you don't come off as just this huge jerk, Richard, I'm better than everybody else.
Right.
And you're still a dude, but you have this ability inside your body. And Bo has that. But you know what I think? Really not that dent in the confidence, but I think some of that success and obviously helping with the run game and getting that established earlier, it's something that he talked about. Just a more balance and not run past split, like a more balance in Bo's brain of like, I don't have to be the hero on first down.
Right.
I don't have to find the back of the end zone when it's 3rd and 14 and we're on the wrong side of the 50. You can be more balanced. In fact, we'll hear Bo talk about that here. Just him having that thought process of like, how do I be more balanced when things aren't going right?
Yeah, for sure. But at the same time, you want to go out there and score points and be productive because our offense can do that. So it's not about being perfect. It's just about being the best that I can be, and I know that I can be a lot better. And so even if I would have gone out there and been, a few completions short of being perfect, I think I could have gone out there and found ways to complete those passes. So, it's not about the stats or it's not about perfection by the outside, but it's just for me, it's a standard that I have for myself, and I know I can be better. So, but yeah, as your question was, it was with our defense, we can definitely just make sure at times we give them great field position, and then we'll get the ball back, and then we can keep going right to work. And we gave them a few bad field positions, but they overcame it, and that's going to happen. So overall, definitely want to play complementary football, but definitely have high standards for our offense.
I will say I hadn't noticed this until just then. Like he does sound a little differently.
Yeah.
Like it's I'm not saying that he's lost confidence.
No.
But like when he answers questions out at camp and stuff, he was really firing, and that did sound a little different.
Well,
and there's also these guys have real lives too.
Sure,
that happen, and we don't know what's going on.
Right. And I know this in seeing Bo yesterday at the podium,
was body language
saying
any
what's
different?
up. I had a feeling that he knows he let his team down. I have a feeling that he knows he let his coach down. But most importantly, I had the feeling in being there and talking to Bo Nix, he knows he let himself down. And I think that's paramount for him to turn things around, to be a better player, to be the Bo Nix that we know he is. We know he's better than what he played in week 1. We know that. We've seen it. We've seen it in multiple games. There is no question, Mike Evans, about is he the guy? He's the guy. He is the guy. Now play like you're the man. You're the man. Play like it. He didn't play like it. He played like a rookie. He played like the first 4 weeks of his rookie season. That's how he played last week. So Dan Orlovsky was on the morning show, did a great job. He said, seemed like there were some nerves for Bo Nix.
Yeah.
I almost asked Bo, hey, Dan Orlovsky says you need to get hit early on. What do you think about that?
Are you down?
You like that? But there's something, I think there's easier plays, easier reads, some sort of wide receiver screen, something to get Marvin involved, get Court involved. Take that deep shot to Troy Franklin. Now that's a lower percentage throw. But there's ways to get Bo Nix fired up where the nerves aren't there. He's just in the flow of the game. And he never really got in the flow. And by the way, he took himself out of the flow on 3 occasions.
On 3 different occasions.
3 turnovers.
Oh, yeah. 100% right. And you can maybe go to the Jeffrey Simmons back and forth argument. You're taking yourself out of some flow there.
Mm-hmm.
Yelling at Lucas Kroll and Sean Payton, I'm all for that.
Sure.
That's a part of the flow, and you're doing it for a good reason.
Right.
It feels a lot like the Jeffrey Simmons is like, I'm doing this because you said something and it's gotten in my head.
Well, and guess what happens? Once guys figure that out, that's all they do to you.
Well, they got you.
They got you.
Mm-hmm.
Once they figure out, it's why you never let them see you sweat. Never let people really know what bothers you, because then that's what they'll go back to. And that's what happened with Simmons. Hopefully that's not the case going forward with Bo Nix, that he's able to be resolute with his mentality of I'm the man, I don't really care what you say. And by the way, if you're playing well, go throw 4 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
You go throw 4 touchdowns, how much is Jeffrey Simmons talking? And then if he does, what are you going to say? Dude, scoreboard.
You point right up at the scoreboard.
Scoreboard.
That's exactly
See that gigantic thing up there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have a lot for you.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because you suck.
All right, Cease, before you get out of here, I know you got to get to Broncos Park powered
Sean
by
Payton
common
may actually
spirit.
be on time today.
Wow, look at that. Green Bay hosting the Commanders tonight.
Commanders.
Jaden Daniels, Jordan Love, Micah Parsons in his new uniform. The Packers are favored by 3.5 points for those of you that care about that stuff. But, Cease, how do you see tonight going down? It should be a fun Thursday night game.
I see it's a very fun Thursday night game, a good Thursday night game, and I'm curious with the wide receiver injuries. Of course, they're still waiting for Christian Watson to come back, and Jaden Reed's been a little bit banged up. Romeo Doubs. You've got these banged up wide receivers for Green Bay. Tucker Kraft, I think, their tight end was even a little bit banged up. Yeah, I like him a lot. Best tight end after the catch in the league, even better than Trey, which is saying something. So they've got a tight end.
You watch your mouth about Trey.
I still believe. I believe him, yo. I still believe that the Commanders have too much. If Debo stays healthy and plays like he did last week, Debo was their best receiver. And that's what Terry McLaurin out there. Zach Ertz, 100 years old, and I certainly do love me some Jorgori Krosky Merritt. So, and Austin Eckler, by the way, is a little bit banged up. So give me the Commanders tonight in an upset on the road at Lambeau.
Yeah, give me all the JCM carries. Bill, and more Bill for me coming up.
It's your fantasy team.
Yeah, that's exactly right. All right, it is KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. I am fired up for tonight's game. Should be a fun Thursday night game. Kevin, I want to know what you're picking in this one, but these Thursday night games early on, obviously players' bodies are all beat up and banged up the way they are later on in the season. Now, my lady is a giant Green Bay Packers. Well, I shouldn't say giant. She sort of likes the Packers. And I know you basically hate Jaden Daniels' guts. So I got my lady that loves the Packers, my guy Kev who hates the Commanders. I basically have to roll with the Packers.
You have to roll with the Packers.
Pretty much.
Usually on these Thursday night games, I take the home team.
Mm-hmm.
That's you. I want to see what that record is because it's got to be a 70% win percentage over the years. And I just noticed that the Packers are at home, and I was leaning towards the Packers' way. There's some people some of these experts have kind of put the Packers as Super Bowl contenders.
With Micah, I mean, I thought they were going to be good, and then they add a Micah Parsons.
Then they go out and prove it last week against the Detroit Lions.
And shut that offense. Now, they're without Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
But shut that offense down.
Look, here's something I've learned. Never doubt Matt LaFleur. That's it's just something I've learned over the years.
I like that.
I mean, he started off 13-3 his first 2 or 3 seasons in a row. So I like the Packers in this one. I'm with Cecil. I think the Commanders just somehow take a step back this year. And look, yeah, Jaden Daniels is a great quarterback, but something is off with that team, and I don't know how much Debo will actually help them in the long run.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe you just said that. Jaden Daniels is a great quarterback. That just came out of your mouth.
Yeah, but Bo's elite. So.
Oh, okay. So that's what it is. You can give some praise, but you still got to one up where Bo Nix is.
Yeah.
No, I'm fired up for it. I think that's honestly a fair play of looking at the home team and really what these Packers are. You want to get a couple of wins. You beat the Lions and then the Commanders in back-to-back weeks. Well, the league has to take you serious after that, and I think that's what goes down tonight. Packers get the dub. Phil, what's up, man?
Ooh, what's going on? I like that one. I like your breakdown, Josh, and everything else. So what's going on with Cease? Why is Cease always leaving, man? Does he got some John Wick?
No, he's got
some stuff going on.
What day of the week is it? On Wednesdays and Thursdays, he's got to go to Broncos.
Broncos, okay.